Stay the best day up. Guys, hi there, I haven't opened up the list yet. I'm back, my Wi-Fi kicked me out. It happens, and my Wi-Fi is not the best either, probably will. Hi guys, welcome in. Just shuffling up these decks real quick. Just did a couple of videos for TikTok. It's interesting how those ended up. And decided to do the live today, so I was put makeup on so I didn't look like death for 4 hours. Kia ora, Grand Rising. Hi Anita. How's everybody doing? Kia ora. So I had a few days off from TikTok. Sorry guys, I didn't say anything. I was just like, nah, I'm just out for social media. I do that from time to time when the energy gets really heavy because, you know, like if you can think about TikTok, it's like shuffling decks for me. TikTok is like shuffling a deck. And as I see each card, it's like a soul map that leads us to a message, a pathway in energy. So sometimes you get into these, stuck in these algorithms and you're seeing a lot of negativity and it conflicts with what you think and believe. And when I feel like that, when I'm not at peace with my TikTok or what's coming forward, I step back and I take that time from all social medias because I think that it's important for me, being so energetically sensitive when there's some heavier energies out there, to actually go and find out what that means for me, to take some time out and to get right, you know, before I step forward. So Thursday I was just like, whoa, the energy was really, really heavy. Has been since Sunday, to be honest. And then today it started lightening up. It could be because it's school holidays. This is the last day of school holidays. There's that little part of me that just jumped for joy. And everybody's gone back to their designated spaces. So it's nice to have a little bit of clearer energy. Because when I had all my kids here, being energetically sensitive, I'm still open to them and their feelings, and it can be a lot when there's a lot of people. Yeah. Thank you, I appreciate that, Daddy. I put makeup on, so it kind of takes off, I think, like all the wrinkles that are over here. I can't hide those things when I haven't got them on. And that's because I have, you know, you guys have to look at me for hours, so it's sort of just more pleasant for the overall experience. Yeah. I haven't opened up my my list yet. If you've been with me for a while, you know that oh, you're very welcome. I like to connect with everybody first before I get the business done. It's a way for you to get to know who I am, connect with my energy. Thank you, Unspoken. Appreciate that. You know, see if I'm the right reader for you, because I'm an ethical reader. So I always say this at the beginning. I like to set my intentions so that everybody in here knows what I do. I'm not going to spy on your ex-partner, your ex-boyfriend, if your boyfriend cheated on you, if you're going to be pregnant 6 months, or you're going to get that career. If I feel it and see a question and I answer it, that's because something I feel in there. But most of it, if you ask questions, 9 times out of 10, there's like a common sense space. So it's good to really reflect on your common sense or general knowledge and really ask for a question from your soul. So I read soul energy. I use the cards like soul maps. I've got a few cards that I'm going to be using. I think it's going to be oracles all night long, but we'll see. I just like to do readings from the soul, from my soul to your soul, for your highest good and from your higher self, to hopefully move you out of situations where you feel stuck in or confused in, and help you move forward. That's always sort of where I'm at now, is part of my reading experience. I've been doing this openly since 2018-19, but I originally started my spiritual journey in 2017. So I've been doing a few years now, and I've done, I would say, thousands of readings, because I do individual readings, live readings, group readings, and now I'm doing couple readings, which I actually enjoyed doing. It's interesting. So I've got a lot of experience under me, but really the readings are for your highest and best perspective. So hopefully those that step forward get the message that they need, with clarity and honesty and love and compassion. And we'll go about getting into that soon. But I like to just talk a little bit. It's just how I do it. Not everybody does. I know they get right in, start pulling cards. But I think we have to normalise actually getting to know your reader. So you're not sitting there asking a stranger for intimate things about yourself. Sometimes it's nice to get people that don't know you to bring in those messages. But sometimes it's good to know who's actually bringing them forward and where they stand, and their whole space, whether they're actually there for you and your for good intentions for you or for themselves. Because there's plenty of readers that want to make it a business, and their business is to create more business. So you have to be mindful as a consumer about who you're stepping in with. Hi, Shelby. Sorry, I'm not reading the comments. Let me I have to make them bigger over my whole face so I can actually read them. And when I read, guys, sometimes I have my eyes closed. So if you're asking me questions, I'm not going to be able to see them because I won't be able to actually look at the screen. And I'll look away from comments while I'm getting a reading, because intuitively I like to stay focused. So I'm just letting you know now. And I usually go live. It just depends on what the energy's like for me. Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays. And yeah. Are you drawn to me? Are you drawn to me is the question. Because usually if people step forward, it's 9 times out of 10. It's because they need something from their soul. Thanks. All right. Thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate it. All the comments, likes, shares, follows, and gifts that you send tonight. I appreciate that a lot, guys. Thank you, Shelby. And I'm just warming up my hands because I'm going to get grounded, and then I'm going to open up the list. But I just had this, and I was sitting here because it looks like I'm reading in one of my messages I just put up about the turtle energy. And it looks like I'm reading, but I'm actually just speaking. But I get shy sometimes when I look at myself directly in the camera. And so I'm looking down and I'm speaking because like this, crazy eyes. And I'm talking about my energy right now. And it keeps putting me back into that turtle energy. And I think to myself, oh, Spirit, why do you always make me feel like I'm going slow and everybody else is racing around me? And they said simply, as plain as day, because the whole prize is enjoying the steps you take, not the steps to where you're going. Because at the end is the end. There is no more. So why not, while you're here, enjoy the steps that you take? So be a turtle and empower that space. And then I was like, thank you. Because, sometimes you need them to come in. Like for me, when you actually really get down and quiet and you listen, really listen, you'll get that guidance. Each and one of you's out there in your lives. Oh, sorry, it's our lives. I just read that. Out there in this life, you are intuitive, naturally. What's happened is that you've forgotten that you are. And now you're in a space of remembering. And that's just something that I do. So if you feel activated or energized by my energy, awesome. Take it, while I'm here. And if you have questions, feel free to ask them. Though I will say I may not answer everybody's questions. And I'm a soul reader. So show me your soul and I'll give you some messages. It's not always an easy space. I can't control what comes forward. So I do come with a warning sign. it's usually deep, and it's usually a space that needs to be acknowledged. So thank you. Thank you, Shelby. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to open up my list. Yeah, no, it was. And it's a good reminder for me too, as someone who, like, I'm like everybody else, you know, I don't want to get left behind. I got the FOMO, and I see everybody just making leaps and bounds, and I think, oh, that's so awesome. Like, there's no jealousy in my heart. That's so awesome. Keep growing, keep growing. And then I always think to Spirit, well, what about me? But I am growing. That's the thing. It's sort of like, sometimes I forget my own growth and where it's taken me and all the experiences that I have. And it's more about just letting go of what everybody else is doing and realize that these slow and steady steps are really helping me build a strong foundation for who I am and what I do. So, all right. Okay, so I see It's Our Lives up there. So I read your name out before, so it must be a reason. It's usually It's Our Lives 2022. I just put the whole username out there. Shelby, thank you for gifting so much. I appreciate that. I saw another one. Oh, I see you, Jill. Jill. I saw Anita. All right, so we're just going to take a few at a time, but don't worry if I haven't said your name or anything like that. I will be coming out, and I've got Tara Grant. All right. Okay, so I like to do some of the people that I actually interact with within my lives and within my videos. So also, if I don't see you now and say your name now, I will definitely come towards you afterwards. Okay, It's Our Life 22. Our Lives 22. So this is what I usually ask of the person. This is all I ask, is that while you're sitting there watching me do your reading, when we start grounding down into the energy, for you to just take 3 deep breaths. And the reason why I say 3 deep breaths, because it hopefully brings you into wholeness, bringing everything back to wholeness, connecting to the breath, connecting with the heart. It aligns your mind, your body, and your soul. And in that space, just sort of imagine your heart chakra opening and your crown chakra opening, and allowing that to project your energy forward, which just makes it easier. Because sometimes you have to understand, like, your soul may be buried under layers. So for me to access that in a safe way, in a way that's beneficial for both of us energetically, I don't have to dig down when it's rising up to the top. Okay, so that's just the way I do it. So if you just like to take 3 deep breaths, breathing in slowly and deeply, and exhaling slowly and deeply, and I'll ground down into the energy and create the safe space. This is just how I connect energetically. So I use energy to read. I like to give an intuitive message before. I'm clear audience, so I'm just letting all those that don't know what I do to know, okay? The info. All right, It's Our Lives 2022. Let's go. Scrolling down into here. Big heart. They just said, boom like an 808. Circles like a figure 8. But what for me, an 8's a good number to come forward. That's Black 808. You may not know that song, but for me it has symbols. So that particular song comes in because, yeah, you've actually got a really big heart, because it felt like it was a heartbeat, and actually felt like the my frequency I've got going over here actually sped up a little bit. So there might be a lot that's going on in your heart. It feels like maybe even a little bit of pressure, whether that is feeling the energy of the world within a relationship or within your health sphere. It's more like anxiety. I don't know. It feels like, you know, that like there's a lot to be done. It feels like pressure for me. Yeah, but the 8, the 8 actually for me represents, and numerology has its own space, but for me 8s represent the right place, the right person, the right time. So it's just trusting and believing. You can actually relax. They're just saying, you feel a bit uptight. It feels tense in my body, so sometimes I feel that too. Like I feel like I'm very rigid. So it's actually good to relax and get loose, And let that stress or anxiety, let it go from your body. And relax in the knowing that you are the right person in the right time, doing the right thing for the right reasons. That your cause, the cause that you have that creates that pressure, is actually the right cause for you at this time. So if you had a little bit of worry about your direction, sometimes we're being redirected by spirit. That's been happening a lot. I call it rebirth energy. So it just means it's accumulating energy to push us out, and sometimes, it feels a little rough around the edges. They yelled in my mind, mushrooms. I don't know what that means for you. But interestingly enough, I've been watching a lot of Ram Dass, right? And he did the psychedelic trip with them. But they were doing all sorts. But it was just the way that it came out. It felt like it was connected. I don't know if that makes sense for you, for guidance. All right, let's pull some cards. So I'm just going to pull one card from the Sacred Rebel. So I like to pull 3 cards. And I've got 3 different decks here to give me 3 different messages. And hopefully, that helps me see the whole picture. Oh, okay, so we got a little bit, we're holding on to a little bit here when it comes to our emotions, because you had 3 cards jump out, but I like what it says. I'm going to keep them together. And I have Animal Spirit here. So I have Sacred Rebels. I have the Soul's Journey and the Animal Spirit Oracle, which I like to see the animal essence that you may have, or parts of your personality. Yeah, that's in challenge. So whenever an oracle card comes out in reverse for me, it talks about it being a challenge. So you do have a couple of challenges here. And the first challenge was happiness, by the way, and the other was failure. So, but they all come under the umbrella of acceptance, okay? So I want to bring that forward. But the first card you got was Legacy of Light. Now, Legacy of Light, they yelled mushrooms. Hopefully that made sense for you. Doesn't make sense for me, but if it resonates for you, that's good. Legacy of Light is about passing on or passing down or passing through the bloodline, the genealogy. It's actually a really good card, and I feel like I want to read that part from the book. I can read it intuitively as well afterwards, just to see where we're aiming with this particular one. Just the first paragraph. Yeah, like I said, the right cause, right? It says, you are being asked to honor the legacy of light that is your sacred birthright. Take nourishment and support from those that have come before you, your ancestral lines, not only in blood, but also in spirit. Perhaps these are the things and beings that have inspired and motivated you to live as a sacred rebel from your heart and with belief in yourself. The more you are nourished by this legacy of light from your past, the more you become the bearer of the legacy for those that will be supported by your light in the future. You know, there's something that I always say to people here, and it's, when I nourish myself, I nourish everyone around me. And it's not so much about everyone else, it's about you. Just making that very strong distinction. So it feels like in this space, you can take courage and also shelter. It's weird, I want to say it like that. That you can actually rely on what you've been taught and or what you are teaching in the world. So it may not be, you may have children, you may not have children. But it feels like, okay, why were they, okay, so they kind of said it like cherry picking, which is an interesting space, but it's sort of like, you know, you can take the best qualities that help you now, that resonate now for you, and take those forward and let go of, you know, the other cherries that aren't so good or ripe, or I don't know, you could create something new from that. But it just felt like, it's sort of like there's a bunch of cherries representing your ancestors or your your past, your family from the past, and it's past, or like your family lineage. And it's sort of like taking examples from the right examples. So choosing the right theory, because I think that's really important. I'm not too sure why that comes forward like that. And making it right for you and passing those good qualities on, all right? So here we have happiness and failure and struggle. So I want to read this to you. It says happiness. I'm aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. You're in struggle with that one, so you might have to really think what happiness means for you. And failure. I understand that a mistake is an opportunity to learn. Both a challenge for you, okay? But the overall energy is to accept this. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, baby. Nobody's perfect. It says acceptance. I'm learning to accept the things I cannot change. That's why the cherries, I think, sort of like, take strength and courage in the things that nourish you, not so much the things that don't. And then you have flamingo spirit, embrace the in-between, okay? So I really like that. I actually really like that, because over here it's learning to accept and learning to embrace, and here learning to be. So there's a lot about you learning to accept who you are, where you're going, and what you like, what you want to be in the future. Embracing the in-between is that sometimes there's like this space between, how do I say it, like dramas, like events. So it's sort of like if you're in a space where it's kind of a little bit boring or still or not really going the way you would think it would, just embrace that space and sort of like enjoy what's actually coming forward. If it's feeling a little bit negative, or heavy, then just understand that sometimes negativity comes in, and this is something I spoke about earlier. Negativity comes in to make us look at things. So if it's a repeated pattern, recognize the pattern and break it. If it's a negative emotion, feels like that, then look at it. Send more love to that space, because love transmutes anything that's negative for us. And so when we feel like either we're not happy or that we're failing or we don't understand why we can't seem to bring these two together in a space that creates more love and happiness for me, then it's sort of like understanding and looking at something without being afraid of it, without fearing the results or what it would take to get to that. It's sort of just accepting that, okay, there's some things that I can fix here and now, and there's some things that I can't fix. And the things that I can't fix, like I said, picking the right cherries, letting go of the rest, is totally okay. So, yeah, embrace the in-between here with the flamingo spirit. It's an interesting card. It's sort of just like get real comfortable with yourself, understand who you are, accept who you are, and understand where you're going with that. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. But I send it to you with lots of love and good intentions, and hopefully that makes sense to you, resonates, and helps you in the future. So thank you very much. It's our lives. I want to say, it's our life. It's now or never. Do I want to sing that note? I live forever. Thank you very much, Shelby. We have some water. Ooh, can you feel the energy? Thanks. I did this myself. I actually don't know how to do makeup. So if someone knows how to give me some tips. This is like, I'm pretty sure this is 90s fashion. Something I would have done if I went to the nightclubs in the 90s. 2000s, sorry. 90s and 2000s. You don't need a slap, you need a hug. It's our lives. It's a hug. Hugs heal. All right, Shelby. Hello. All right, you know the drill. I'm going to open up the list. I've got Jill, Anita, and Tara Grant after Shelby, and then I'll ask for more names, okay? So just please be patient with me. All right, Shelby, so you know to take 3 deep breaths, and I'll tap in and see what jumps out and comes forward. Okay. All right, so yeah, something already came out, but I just want to ground down a little bit more because last time I got quite carried away in your energy, and it feels like it's taking me back up again. I feel really good. like giddy. It's a weird thing. Okay, weird. I felt really good going in, but I feel just something step back a little bit. It's like on the back burner, you know, something that's sort of just been sitting there that I didn't notice before. And it's, you know, it's like, I would say this is something you probably keep close to your heart or chest. But the song I got was Passenger. Was you only love the light when it's getting low. Only know the but it's that let it go, but you let it go. And the reason why I would get that, because it feels like either you're letting go of someone or there's something that you need to let go of. Okay, or third option, you're afraid of being let go. It's weird because the way I'm saying it's weird is because I'm still feeling good, but this is something that just sits there. You know, it's like sitting on that shelf, that picture you put up years ago, sitting on a shelf, just holding on to a memory or energy. And from time to time, that memory and energy sort of triggers something inside you. And it's sort of like, oh, okay, I'm getting a wobble here because I feel like everything else seems to be going in accordance or in alignment, but there's this energy of that lingers. And it's almost like, you know, when you wear your favorite pants, I don't know if everyone gets this, and then you look down and there's like this stain on it and you're like, how do I get that out? And no matter how much you scrub it, no matter how much you try to move it, bleach it, whatever, bleaching's not great, but you know, sorry, I just read that. No, they tell you live cut out as you started. Oh, sorry. Okay, anyway, coming back to Shelby, and it's sort of like that. It's sort of like, no, I have been trying to clear my slate. I have been trying to start anew. I have been letting go of things, but it's like in the distance, you know, it's sort of like something that you visit privately or look at privately. It's sort of like a little keepsake. I feel like it's just a little something that you stick on a shelf and it's a memory. But whenever you touch it, feel it, because it feels like you touch it. It reminds you of something and it brings back that energy or that memory. So if there's a fear of something, it's like I say all the time, we're not the same person and we're not the same energy and we're not the same processes of thinking or coping. We're totally different now. We're evolving out of spaces that allow us to thrive and grow and be more loved. So it's understanding that yes, anything out there in the world you could risk losing or be lost in or even pushed away from. That's never going to go away. Those are always parts of the mathematical calculation of your life. There's always going to be parts that aren't so comfortable or good, but it's just remembering the parts that allow you to move forward. And sometimes we need a little dark space or something to remind us that we're not that anymore and moving on. And, you know, like same as for me. So, you know, there's parts of my things that I wrote and I read them back to myself and I'm like, oh, te rākoe. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, and so I actually remove it now. And the reason I used to hold all these thoughts and memories in my mind, but then I realized that it's not that I reject that part. It's just that, you know, this is a waste of my energy to revisit this now. And so I've removed it by removing the memory of it. And I don't know why I want to say that to you, so hopefully it makes sense. Let's pull some cards, shall we? It just feels like that, you know. Sometimes it's good to remove things. So yeah, it might have been a little bit rough. I think there's a lot of outside influence too coming in from what's going on in the world and what's going on over there right now with you guys. Yeah, inner trust. I actually thought it would be something a little bit different, but You know, it's like turning the energy around into, yeah. Okay, and one more card, please. Yeah, you've got a lot of stuff that's happening, but we'll take the main one. Let's step forward. So you got inner trust. Like I said, this is something that you go to inside. But I like what's happening because even though it's a very private thought, feeling, emotion, or memory, it's sort of like it's sort of like, you know how you would see like princesses in movies and that, whenever they would leave the castle secretly, they would put the hood over the top of them and then they would move quietly or silently in the night. That's kind of how you sort of move towards this energy. It's what I mean. It's kept inner trust. Okay, what I'm getting intuitively is that this is the root source of where things started to go a little bit awry, you know? And it's hard to visit that because it's like looking into the face of honesty, like looking into yourself, looking in the mirror in a way that is, well, will be very healing, but can be very confrontational to you at this time. And what I got for you for the soul's journey is forgiveness. And I feel like that's pretty much why they keep bringing up this memory, thought, or trigger, or even momentum, keepsake. I don't know why they keep saying something like that. That keeps re-triggering something. It says forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. And there's that song comes back in again with the letting you go song. And you let it go. It's like almost like a, I want to say like a regret or a resentment towards, but it's a harboring resentment. It just feels like, yeah. But yeah, that's so true. To create new cycles, we have to give up old patterns and move with the new flow of the energy, which is rewiring and letting go of this trigger. And then you have moth spirit, which is surrender now. You see that? The tails always remind me of the song Torn. I'm already torn. Every moth, it's funny how they always bring forward, because we don't have moths like this in New Zealand. We just have like just the wings and the body. So it's interesting to see a moth in each of these decks that actually have two tails. And it always reminds me of the Torn, because if I pull out the moth energy in the other deck, in my other animal deck, as we know, I like this one too. Oh gosh. Let's just indulge me at this time. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's going to take ages. Here it is. Same energy. See that? Moth. And for me, that's a bit of a darker space, you know. So with that surrender now, it's sort of like let go of it. Let it go. Let it leave you. You know, you've been doing a lot of your shadow work, and now you're taking light into the shadow. So it's sort of like you're at a space where you're really getting down to the main reasons why things started really happening for you, that kind of pulled you away from where you wanted to be or go or pursue in your life, and bringing forgiveness to that. Because when we bring forgiveness to something, we learn to heal from it. And when we learn to heal from it, we can literally give that memory, time, space, and energy back to the universe. Say, here you go, here's your energy. Please transmute it into love and compassion and bring it back to me in the right form and fashion that I deserve and desire in this life. And it's learning that you can actually have a really open heart, because it's sort of like, I'm open, really open, but there's a part of me that kind of, it's almost like if you step on this trigger, it's like a trap door. It'll close almost instantly. You know, like that? So, you know, it's sort of like learning to no longer have that trap door to keep you stuck, to allow your heart to be open, and realizing that vulnerability in some way, shape, or form is a strength, okay? Your vulnerability is your greatest asset, because it means no matter what the world throws at me, life anything like that, I still have the strength to actually leave my heart wide open. And an open heart and an open mind receives blessings from the universe, as you know. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Shelby. Hopefully that makes sense to you. I keep getting keepsake or momentum like a picture. I don't know what it is, but it's behind me. I keep feeling it there, so it's just interesting that it keeps showing up as if I'm sitting in your lounge and it's behind me. So, yeah, hopefully that made sense to you. Thank you very much. Kia ora, Lucy. Well, it's the way you term I'm so vulnerable, it makes me feel like it's not vulnerability, it's there's fear attached to it. Vulnerability is knowing that even though my heart is open to attack, I'm still not afraid of what comes forward. Okay, so Jill. Jill? Thank you, Shelby. Jill? Are you there? Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, so you know the drill as well. We take 3 deep breaths and slowly and deeply opening up the heart chakra and the crown chakra. And I'll ground down into the energy. Create that safe space, welcoming in your higher self, getting guidance for your highest good. And the funny thing, I keep hearing this song all day. It's weird. And I feel like this is the energy that's going on for many of us. But the song is, and it's a song I heard this lady sing, this black lady sing, and it sounds amazing. And I got quite intoxicated by it. And I was wondering why, intoxicated is not the right word, but taken with this song. It's played over and over. And it's funny, as soon as I tap into your energy, it comes forward. It says, I'll be a fool if I go back to my ex-boyfriend, you know. But it's a song where he doesn't let it go, he wants to leave, but then he won't let go. And it feels like there may be a re-triggering of a pattern, an old pattern. And this is something that Spirit has actually done to me recently as well. Sort of like learning to let go of that whole pattern completely so that you're not repeating exactly what you went through, what you overcome and healed, to then go back into that energy again. And it's sort of like, you know, when I say ex-boyfriend, it could be ex-husband, it could be, you might be different in a totally different relationship. But there may be a space where you're revisiting memories, places, things that connect that. So it's like realizing now that you're actually moving or wanting or desire to move in a more positive pattern of energy. Yeah, I like that song. It just keeps going in. Okay, so there is a bit of honesty coming forward, and I feel like that's you actually stepping forward and looking at yourself more honestly, because underneath that song, when I sort of went, okay, now show me what I need to see, and then I hear that song, well, take a look at me now, there's just an empty space, you're coming back to me, is against all odds. I don't know the word, but it's sort of like, I don't know why you're getting that energy, but break that pattern, break that cycle. For some odd reason, I want to tell you that, because it keeps repeating these two songs in my head, overlaying over the top of each other. So you might have had just a lot of thought processes going on and feeling a little bit divided, but both of them saying kind of like the same message. And it's almost like I want to say, I know there's many processes that would make it logical to revisit a pattern or to even put energy into a pattern that you've been through and overcome and healed before. or even being pulled into one, getting pulled back. But there's so much more that's waiting for you. So it's sort of like being more honest. Like for me, I take accountability for my role in my past relationship, because I realize now as a person how messed up I was when it came to relationships and love, because I was really messed up. And, you know, it's sort of like I take accountability for what I do now. And what it does is it kind of relieves that pressure of consistently holding this line of anger or hatred, and then bringing that forgiveness in and letting that part of me acknowledge that, you know, I played a role too. At some point I accepted that kind of behaviour, so I had to learn to bring forgiveness to that, and I kind of let go of that whole responsibility. It was like letting all these burdens go, and it helped me. It helped me move forward, yeah. So definitely been in the head with that, beyond the mind, the heart beats. Can't shut that song off. Okay, and then you got peace, which I really love, which is, I thought was going to be the overall theme for tonight, was everyone to get a little bit more in this, in a peace of mind, peace of heart kind of energy. Yeah, we'll see your animal spirit. Oh, and be peace. That's kind of scary. Yeah. It's very direct, isn't it? It's like, what have you been doing to yourself? So we've got beyond the mind, the heart beats. And I'm going to read that for you because I think I should. Just a couple of sentences at the beginning. 21, number 21. And it says, in the chaos of modern life, the constant fluctuations of our mind, it can be difficult to remember the sublime sanctuary lives within. Yet it is always there. Beneath the ceaseless activity, there is endless, vast spaciousness that restores and connects us to something greater, something that exists out of time. Some may call it eternity. Within the sanctuary, sacred sound is felt rather than heard. The sacred sound is actually the reverberating heartbeat of the entire universe, and your heart's rhythm sounds within the greater universal heartbeat. I thought they were going to say peace. You know, peacefulness. This oracle has a message for you. There is a way of the mind which can make mountains out of molehills, even if it thinks it is turning mountains into molehills. Then there is the way of the heart. It is subterranean and moves subtly beneath possible obstacles, intelligently shifting with exquisite sensitivity, sensing the way forward through dangerous pathways and responding to what it is before it even occurs in the physical world. However, with the heart's intelligence, we cannot see and know in the same way that we do when we allow the mind to direct us. We have to be open to another way if we want to benefit from the innate intelligence of the heart. Deep within you, you know what to do. And you know what is true when you actually live from the heart space. So as a heart-centered being, something I've strived for is whenever I feel confused, whenever my mind goes, you know, really getting in there and causing some shit, I always stop. You know, I think, hold up, Sonia, hold up, take a moment. And when I take a moment for myself, especially if it's a moment to regain balance and stability, you know, when I take that deep breath in and then I hold it in my heart, or wherever it is that I'm feeling tension in my mind, holding that and letting that breath just clear. And then when I exhale, letting all that negativity, all that thought process, all that limiting mind belief systems, old memories, old stories, and just letting it all go in that breath. And I keep breathing until I feel good, you know. So I see here, beyond the mind, the heart beats. It's just like, listen to your heart. Because if you're feeling some kind of way about something, make peace with it. Make peace. be peace. Be the peace that you seek in the world. And here it says, I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. So yeah, I would say for you, is finding that peace of mind and peace of heart that allows you to find that quietness, that sanctuary within, where you can actually be open to really healing some of the stuff that may replay or process in your mind, that brings down your vibration or brings you down energetically or just literally drains you, because that is an energy drain. A lot of us don't realize that sometimes, yep, we are around vampires, energy vampires. Well, I don't really, but a lot of that is because we over process, using our energy processing over memories, thoughts and stories, and get really, really tired and drained from that. We never let the mind rest by accessing the heart, because the heart is quiet. Well, it beats, but it's like that beat that pulls you back, you know, the heartbeat of the universe. So that is about using emotional intelligence and coming back to yourself, really, being at peace with things the way that they are. In Dove Spirit, you know, this is about purification, clearing the mind, cleansing the energy, bringing it back to love and peace, and tapping into that quiet space within you. And like I said, when you listen to your heart, you know what to do, you know what is true. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense for you, Jill. And I send that to you with lots of love and good intentions. And thank you very much. That was be peace, and that was interesting. Get peace and then be peace. You're definitely learning some big life lessons, you know, as we all are. Each day we're all learning something new. Even today, you know, with the turtle energy. Embrace it. They're like, why rush? Why rush? Let's take your time. Love your life. What else can you do? Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. All right. Anita, Sagittarius. I've got, after Anita, I've got Tara Grant, and then I'll open up for some more names. Kia ora. Thank you, Lucy. I've never seen one of those before. That's so cool. Anita, I'm here. Awesome. Thank you, Anita. So, Anita, if you'd like to take 3 deep breaths, breathing in deeply and slowly. And while you're breathing, just imagine or envision your heart chakra opening, either a light emitting or an openness to receive messages, and your crown chakra opening, just clearing the way and letting me see in and connecting. Just creates that safe space. And I'll ground down into your energy. Connecting to your higher self and asking for spiritual guidance for your highest good. I'm going to send this to you with lots of love and good intentions. I'm going to move that song out of my head. It's like really in there. Interesting. I got true love, and then I got given a phoenix feather, which is weird. So you may resonate with the twin flame energy, because that kind of feels like that for me. With that rebirth energy coming in of the phoenix, the fire. So there might be a lot stirring up inside you at this time when it comes to love, when it comes to connection. I was like, why a feather? Why not the whole bird? It's a form of protection for you. Okay. What I'm picking up, and I haven't got a song yet, I don't think, but it will come forward, is that you might be going through a transitional phase, and this is something I tell a lot of people, and they don't understand that when they get really heavy or dark, or when things don't seem too clear, or even their emotions get a little bit muddy, that spirit will recognize this and create a layer of protection, a layer of love for you. And sometimes when we're in that dark space, we forget quite often that we have this love that surrounds us all the time, keeping us safe. And it's something I say all the time, is that, you know, I'm loved, I am blessed, and I am protected. So I am loved, I am safe, I am blessed, and I am protected. I say this a lot when I feel very overwhelmed. And I feel like it's just something that needs to be said in your energy. I am loved, I am safe, I am blessed, and I am protected. And let that really take a hold of you. And anytime you feel a little bit overwhelmed or heavy, just repeat that to yourself. I used to use it for a whole year. I said it every day when I woke up, or any time that I saw it. I used to have this board that I would sit in my room, so whenever I sat up in the morning, it would be the first thing that I saw. And so, what I want to say to that is that this might be a good time to remind yourself. If you don't want to use those words, then use your own words that kind of emulate something that reminds you of that. And then really drill that in, because I feel like you may often lose track of where you're at sometimes when it comes to your healing journey, because Spirit may be often bringing you forward to spaces to heal. It feels like an accelerated healing too, so you might often say, why am I going through all this shit one after the other? I'm not getting a break. But sometimes we get there because they're trying to move you out of a set pattern. So I also refer to energy as it moves in a pattern like a grid. And we've got spaces that may be distorted, and so the energy doesn't flow so nicely or smoothly. And as we slowly remove these distortions, we get this nice circular energy or spiral energy. And it's sort of like Spirit's just trying to get you in the right, like it's like all these little adjustments and alignments to get that energy moving right. And so sometimes it can be a very hard and transitional time for you, which leaves you with a lot of vulnerability. But as we said, we find vulnerability is actually a strength. And know that you are protected in this time. You just have to remember. You have to remember. Sometimes we forget, and that's something that I do too, So let's pull some cards. Yep. Yep. Definitely been put through the ringer is what I just said. And one more. Oh, that jumped right out. Okay, we'll just take it then. Oh, yep. Oh, gosh. It's just funny, eh? Okay. So here you have Against the Grain. I have to cover half of it because, there she is, NAKED. But it's just, like I said, it's vulnerability in the water. Against the Grain is a very interesting and beautiful card. I remember reading this once for myself, and I'll never forget it. It always made me cry. Number 4, Against the Grain. 4 is about finding stability, family, home, foundation. So here we go. Oh, how do I cover that up? I'll just show you this part. I want to show you that part. There we go. And it says, you want birds to fly underwater. You want love to trump power. You want humanity to relate to each other as equals and to recognize the sacredness in you and in the world around you. You want to unleash the beauty that hides in even the ugliest of scenes or sentiments. You want to make possible what others say cannot be. You are a radical dreamer, a sacred rebel, and you bring the light of a more positive future in this world. However, it can have its burdens. Deep within you, you may feel that you don't really fit in with the rest of the world. Perhaps your sense of how things can be and how they really are is so different to the smaller minds or more fearful hearts of many others that you are really received for all that you offer. This might make you feel frustrated, thwarted or lonely at times, but the universe loves you for all your unusual takes on things, for the quirkiness in you that dares to honour that which is different and renders the impossible possible. You must never ever lose your unusual ways, in you that dares to honour that which is different. You must never ever lose your unusual ways and become dry, serious, appropriate, and conventional, not even for appearance's sake, for you would lose your essence. You are here to show that life is about so much more than conventional success. So you are someone who lives and breathes in the depths of creative waters. You must lose yourself to the flow of music, nature, dreams, imagination and fantasy through art and literature, meditation, dance, and in sensual surrender to the sacred waters of the ocean, the river, the lake, or the bathtub. You must go against the grain. It is just your way. And I remember reading that for myself years ago, because I've had this deck for a wee while now. And it made so much sense, because I was always frustrated by everybody else that didn't see things the way that I saw it, because I saw a lot of beauty when I started healing myself. I started to really see beautiful things I'd never noticed. And then I believed things could be possible, things I never believed could be possible before. But in that, I had to heal and remove a lot of things that stopped me from seeing that. So here, your other card was indecision. So here we are. So it's a soul energy and pattern there. And it says, I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So if anything, like I said, if anything gets a little bit heavy, take that breath, take that moment. That might not have been for you, but that's something I said previous. It's like whenever things get clouded or muddy in my energy, I will always take that moment to breathe it out and welcome in new energies that actually allow me to understand more clearly what I need to see, know, feel, or sense, or just intuitively pick up. And then I can trust it, because when I start really clearing out like the cobwebs of my heart and all the healing, that's when you really learn to trust yourself, trust your heart, trust your intuition, trust the universe. And when you start doing that, there is no indecision. You may have times where you're like, hold up, I want to ask some questions first. So it's always good to take that time to ask that question. Ask questions of yourself. But then once you get clear, thank you so much, jump in. Dive into that creative space. Start creating your world that you want, and understand that this is actually what's needed at this time. That if everyone started to have a future vision that is more healthier, not even for appearance as well. You know what I mean? So it's sort of like having that future vision, and it's sort of like that's where you're at now, creating the world that you want and need. And here you got butterfly spirit, which I really love. Transformation is beautiful. It's not always easy, but when you start choosing to transform and heal yourself, you actually see more beauty in the world. That's the thing. People don't tell you about that part, is that how much beautiful things you'll find right in front of you. Like you could literally lie in the grass and just notice that this tree has these beautiful leaves and the color, and you're not high, you're not taking substances, you're not drunk, you're literally just breathing in positive energy and connecting with things on a totally different level. And that's just where you're going. So I feel like this is really a good space for you to actually embrace who you are. This may mean a little bit of shadow work over here with against the grain, because against the grain usually means going against the status quo, which everyone likes to usually go with the status quo, because nobody likes to stick out. Not naturally, because we don't want to be disliked or anything like that. But it's sort of like you're in that space where you're just going with you, and that's actually beautiful. So allow yourself to go through that change and embrace that transformation for you. So I send it to you with lots of love. Hopefully that makes sense, Anita. And thank you very much. Okay, Tara Grant. I'm going to open up after I read Tara's energy, and I'll just take on some more names. Tara Grant. Hi. Okay, awesome. Yeah. Hopefully I said that the right way. That's what I was wondering. Because in the end, intuition comes to interpretation. So what I may see as something may be different for you. And this is something I sort of talk about a lot, is that intuition isn't one size fits all. It's different for everyone. It's expressed differently. It has its own energy signature, its own way of entering into your knowledge and into your knowing. So everyone accesses it in their own way, but that's actually, it's okay to be like that. So thank you. All right, Tara, just let me know you're here. Just give me a thumbs up. Okay, awesome. I see you now. Okay, there was one water down. Always feel like I talk too much. Oh, hi guys. Hi Genevieve. Hi Kira. Kia ora. Yes, you did. All right. All right, Tara. So if you'd just like to take 3 deep breaths, breathing in slowly and deeply, opening up the heart chakra, crown chakra, allowing me to connect into your energy and create that safe space, asking for spiritual guidance from your higher self for your highest good. I send this to you with lots of love and good intentions. I don't know if this makes sense, but someone's been really irking your mind, your energy. Because have you seen Ghost? There's something that I talked about before, actually. But when I get the song, it kind of reminds me of that movie Ghost. And, she's sitting there. I forgot her name now. Whoopi Goldberg. We'll just say that. And she's like, no, I can't hear you. No, I'm not going to help you. Blah, blah, blah. And he's sitting in the corner going, I'm Henry. I can sing this all day. And he just keeps singing it till she can't take it no more. And she's like, fine, I'll do it. Just shut up. Something like that. Sorry, it's just the way it comes in. And I feel like for you, so there's been either someone that's been in your head, in your ear, in your memories, and your thoughts, just going, churning over. I want to ask what for. Okay. Oh, I don't know if this makes sense to you, but they may have triggered something by saying something that either disrespected you or no. It felt like you were triggered by this person in the way they spoke to you or connected with you, and it disrespected you somehow, some way. Hopefully this makes sense. And I'm also seeing a garden. I don't know, but there's a garden in front of me. So I feel like you've actually been trying to sow, if this is just purely metaphoric and you don't have a garden, sow the right seeds in your garden of life. But it feels like there's a lot of growth going on here. So I do want to acknowledge that for you, that there's actually been a lot of growth happening. So this would upset you because it's sort of like, it's like, it says low vibrational energy cannot penetrate thy aura, and someone's just literally shot right through and got to you, and it's sort of like, I don't like this person rattling my cage, making things feel a little bit toxic or heavy or negative, because I don't like wasting my energy on negative things, and yet it seems to pull you there, pull you here, because I'm getting a lot of pressure in the temple. And I say man because that's the masculine side. If it was this side, I'd be saying it, feminine side or intuition. But this side, sort of like, And this is also the sort of like the side in which I will usually hear intuitive space. So it feels like it's definitely of the mind. Okay, and I really like it at the background. It's weird because I'm getting this really beautiful turquoise color coming through in the back. So it just says that there's a really strong space for you to heal this energy that's coming in, that's been... Why would you say that word? They just said thwarted. I have no idea what that means. Thwarted. What's thwarted? Thwarted. I don't know what that means. But that was just something really loud that came in. But anyway, I like that. I can see the turquoise energy in the background. That means you're going to bring healing to this and light to it, which light is knowledge and love. Eventually. So it is there is some barricade there. There's a little bit of blockage towards the healing or stepping into that healing energy or light, but it is there and available to you. It's like there's like almost like a wall, but it's like just behind the wall. It's like in the cracks. So let's pull some cards, see where this is going. Okay, that's in challenge. So we've got every journey starts with a single step. It is in reverse, but I'm just going to show you the card. I have to cover up the parts. So yeah, it is hard moving forward. Okay. And we'll see what the soul wants to say. Oh. I knew it. It's funny. I wanted to say that before, but I didn't because, you know, I don't like to assume. But here we have every journey starts with a single step, okay? So you may be moving in a new direction, heading in the, where it is, heading in the right direction. But the direction that you're moving towards is self-valuing, self-loving, self-caring, self-devotion, and self-commitment and effort. You know, so that was a lot. That took a lot to get there. But you're there. And it's sort of like a pocket full of sunshine. You're getting a lot of songs now. But every journey starts with a single step. A lot of us have to overcome a lot of life lessons to move forward. It's really, really tough and difficult. But when we start transmuting all these negative energies that hold us back, that take us, that drain us, that hurt us, and let go of that connection. So it feels like here, it feels something I would say a mamai, which is pain or something that's sore or hurting. So it does feel like this a lot. So there was a lot of that energy coming in, heaviness or sadness. But now you're in a space of moving past that, and we have to remember that when this happened, or when this trigger began, or when this energy came in and tried to, literally take from you, this is devaluing you, this is detrimental to you, it's those kind of energies, that when you started to move into a healing space, because that healing is always there and always available, you actually started to change so much, and it took so much energy and effort to get to that loving space, like a deep loving and caring. It's still positive, this is still positive energy. But it's almost like acknowledging that there is some shadow work that needs to be done before you truly step into the light of healing. And it's not that you're not healing now, it's more like where you feel the healing. So we move out of those darker, heavier times and actually realize what we've healed, and we go into the sort of like the beautiful space of healing. So usually while you're healing, it's a bit yuck, but once you get out of the healing and actually embrace it, it's actually so much more uplifting and positive. So right at the end, it's going to come in for you. But it's sort of like remembering when you step forward into this journey, you are not alone. You are protected. You are loved by your spiritual team, your ancestors, your guides, your guardian angels. They love you. The universe supports you. You will be successful in your endeavors. And it's having that mindset of knowing that, yep, this person may say negative things about me, but what they're saying and what I'm believing in my heart and my soul, it's not true what they say. But there's so I got that song that sort of confirms that. Because here, I bring in forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Yeah. Bringing in forgiveness actually allows you to heal spaces and clear spaces that have been sitting with you for so long. And then we have here, Be Spirit. Sweet results await. And I really like that. And that's when you're being more connected to the collective energy, because it's that hive mind, more into the consciousness of being. Bees are very industrious. They're very caring, actually care about each other. They have these set roles. They know what to do. So it's sort of like for me, with this every journey starts with a single step. Find your community. Find the people that support you and listen to what they say, because I believe their words will be more uplifting and nourishing to you, and you can then take that energy to create forgiveness to whoever this is here, tuning over in your mind, because they don't deserve to be in your energy and nor take that time and space, take up that storage within you. It's time to move past that and realize you're so much more. So I send that to you with lots of love, Tara. Hopefully that made sense for you. Hopefully that resonates and helps you now and in the future. All right, thank you. All right, guys, so I'm just going to take some names now. I'm going to have a drink first, and a bit of a breather, a couple of minutes. Whew. I see you, Genevieve. Okay, Jen. Sorry. I'm just going to have a drink. My favorite element of choice, water. I see you, Kira. Okay, so I've got Jen, Kira, and Sea Lord, Nadia. Okay. All right. Victoria, Sabrina. I'm just randomly picking, guys. Trinity and Lisa Pudu. All right. So I'm just going to stop it there. And Lisa, sorry if I had said your name wrong. Pudu. Okay. Jen. Okay, Jen, just take 3 deep breaths. Breathing slowly and deeply. Bringing everything down into balance. Opening up the heart and the crown chakra. Wasn't that so nice? I just saw a door open and it was like this goldeny glow. So I feel like your mind is definitely open to receive this energy. And the song I heard was Love Will Conquer All by Lionel Richie. So I really like that, and I get this particular song for those that need to learn to embrace love in a more fulfilling and soul-fulfilling way that allows them to be more happier and satisfied in their lives and have the ability to move forward. With that, it's almost like love is a shield that carries no weight. You know, you can carry it with you. You can wear it. You can put it in a bag. You can hold it, and it never weighs you down. It actually is light, and it isn't a burden. You know, there's no burdens when it comes to love. Because 9 times out of 10, when things become a burden, it's stepped away from the vibration of love and gone into a more negative tone. So we have to understand that, or frequency, best way to put it. Okay. Weird. Why am I getting emotional? What's going on? But it's not in a negative way. It's sort of like really allowing that that love to come in. It always happens though, doesn't it? Whenever I read you, it steps in this love. But it's an interesting thing to step forward, it's sort of like about these moments. And moments like these, it's an old song I used to sing when I was a kid. I sing out a song. Moments like these. You know, it's like an old Christian song. Lift up my hands. And I feel like for you, it's sort of a really good time to focus on positive moments that are happening and helping you at this time. Really enjoying and embracing the moments you do have with someone or something or a situation, and enjoying yourself a little bit more. It feels like things got a little heavy or serious there. So it feels like it's a really good time to open up and connect with people that really light you up or make you feel better. Because you're moving into the best years of your life. So this is a good time to be prepared for that, to be in that right vibration. Don't want to be too old too fast. I don't know who's saying this to me, but this is just what's coming in. Okay, they just said, you're going to be a grandma soon enough. Might as well enjoy not being one. This is the way it comes in. You know, it's sort of like that really direct and blunt approach. But definitely asking you to relax and have a little bit more fun. So there might have been a lot of, sorry, I had water. There might have been a lot of mind chat going on there while the mind opened up. But when we look at the opportunities or golden opportunities that present themselves, like moments, we might actually feel a little bit more uplifted in what energies have been coming forward for you. So let's pull some cards. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Bit of heaviness going on there, but let's talk about it. Pull some more cards. Oof. Yep. And animal spirit. Yep, okay. All right. I'm hearing tears in heaven. All right, so you got what is already with you, number 17, and defend to the end the worthwhile. So for me, together, it's more about appreciating what is already with you, who you've already got, your community, your support systems, the people that love you, the people that encourage you. I feel like it's time for you to either reach out and ask for help for something, because here with defend to the end, the worthwhile, this for me is always a shadow work card. This is something that we hold inside, but with that owl energy there sort of bringing you forward, it's time to see more clearly, which means actually over here with your energy, pig spirit, use your mind wisely. Now, don't think because it's an actual pig, but I really like the energy of the pig, because it reminds me of Babe the Pig, you know, like the movie, and he was so adventurous, and nothing could hold his spirit back. Sorry, I dropped the card. Nothing could hold him back. The ability that he had to overcome some really hard or scary moments, he was able to do that without fear. And like he acknowledges fear. I always bring up Babe the Pig with this particular card. It just happens. But I really, really love this particular energy for you, because it feels like I said at the beginning, you do have a lot of love around you. You may not be connecting with that properly. Your mind may actually be going into some darker spaces, but it's sort of like it's just time for you to let something go, because the energy that's coming towards you is actually uplifting, full of love. I did get a little bit emotional when I tapped into your cards. So, you know, the feeling of it is really, really deep for you. But the card that stepped forward was grief. Okay? And it says, I understand that losing sometimes is an opportunity to appreciate it. And it's sort of like, you know, okay, it's sort of like appreciating these moments, like I said, and not to feel sad or to let this grief overcome you, because it feels like it does. It's sort of like, it's almost like, you know, like that, like guilt for enjoying the moment, for enjoying and loving outside of a space where another energy would belong there too. I'm trying to say that as delicately as possible. So for you, it's sort of like, don't feel things happen the way they happened, not to feel guilty about loving the moment, loving, because love conquers all. Not only does love conquer all, love heals all. So by loving more in the here and now, you learn to embrace what is with you and accept and understand that, yes, you have grief in your energy, but in losing that, this is a good time to appreciate it. But appreciate it with this energy of, you know, like that beautiful Babe the Pig energy, like with belief and connection. That's the only one can really bring that forward. And to use your mind wisely, because when you don't, this owl knows that you've been spending some time in the dark and it's trying to see through things, and it gets really hard. when things get darker and darker and overwhelming. So if you are in need, please reach out for help to the right people, because it feels like, yeah, it just feels like I feel guilty for having this energy, time, or space in front of me. But I still have this energy here. But they said it's sort of like, it's just time to overcome these spaces with belief and trust that you can actually move through this time more wisely. And it's interesting because you've got Pig Spirit says, use your mind wisely. And there, sitting on the head of this lady, is the owl, which is about wisdom. So it's like, I understand the conflict, I understand the grief and the pain, but now it's time to look after you and be happy, because love heals and love conquers all, which means it will overtake and transmute the feeling of grief that's in your energy. And like I said, it's sort of like redirect it. If I can really put it out there, redirect your energy to remember things in a positive light. No matter the negative situation, you can remember it in a way, or remember the energy in a way that lifts you instead of takes away from you or makes you feel less than. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say on that, Jen. Hopefully that makes sense for you. I send this to you with lots of love and good intentions, and hopefully that helps you now and in the future. Thank you very much. Jen. All right, Kira. Oh, sorry. Oh, the message is all at the bottom. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize it had stopped. Very welcome. Thank you, Jen. All right. Thank you, Kira. All right. Oh, who have I missed? So Mama said HD. I'm going to put you on my list because you've been very generous. I appreciate that. Mama said HD, FDIGH. Sarah? All right, I see you there. Thank you, Lucy. You want to get on there too? All right, Kira. Okay, Kira, you know what to do. 3 deep breaths, slowly and deeply, opening up the heart chakra, crown chakra. Ground down into the energy. Asking for spiritual guidance from your higher self for your highest good. Ooh. Okay. What is that? A pilgrimage? Are you on a pilgrimage? Or that is interesting. Because I feel like I'm standing on hills, right? I'm standing on a hill and I can see a beautiful sunrise, sunset, not too sure. It feels early morning, so it might be sunset, sunrise. I'm standing on a hill. It's not like a mountain. It's not like super high, but it's just sort of like higher where you're looking over something. But when I look down, the earth is like sandy, rocky. And it feels like, like I'm walking like hills and mountains to a pilgrimage, on a pilgrimage, because it feels like, like I don't know why they said Joseph and Mary, because I don't know if that steps into your realm of religion or culture. But it just feels like there's a place you have to go. It's like things are aligning at a certain time for you. So this may indicate maybe Christmas. There may be something coming forward at that time for you or happening. But this is a great time to take a higher perspective of things. That would be what it's like, You know, like someone's been walking over over those hills, and they're like getting to the place. You know how, like, this is something that I know when I sort of was a kid, and we'd be driving in the car going to the beach because we'd go camping when we were kids. And there's that time when we're like, okay, we're nearly there, and you come along the edge of the road, right? This is in the car though, and you could just look out and see the whole beach spread out in front of me. So for me, it's not a beach, but I'm looking over like hills and a township. Just, it's not a large town, I wouldn't say, but that's why I say it's like a village, it's sort of out in the country kind of energy. And it feels like, yeah, there's something that you're walking towards, but it's that moment where you can actually, okay, we're nearly here, and it's that taking that moment to see the whole view in front of you. And that's that whole thing of going and looking from a higher perspective. I think I say this all the time to you. So maybe there's a point sometimes that we kind of forget not to take our point of view up and higher and look over, you know, over everything as a whole, and less about focusing on right in front of me. It's more like enjoying it, you know, enjoying the scene and taking in the colours, and really appreciating that contrast of light and dark, and that christening of the gold light coming through. It's quite beautiful. It's like just the sun's just kissing little peaks, you know, and it's quite nice. It's a beautiful scene. But like I said, feeling a little bit worn down from this pilgrimage, been walking this path. Haven't quite got to that destination, but definitely not far off. So let's go. Let's pull some cards, Kira. There's a lot of cards. One card. Okay. What you want wants you. Help together with another card. And collaborative dreaming. Ooh. That's definitely about connections. And it's funny, the other cards that fell out was conscious connections. So it's definitely about a group. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's interesting. And then you got loneliness. But it says, I know that I am never alone. And then you've got chameleon spirit, act as if. Isn't that interesting? This is definitely all over the show. Let's see where this goes. Okay. Just going to move this back a bit. It says, what you want wants you, connected with collaborative dreaming. So there's definitely, yeah, a divine intervention. I don't know why they just said that. And you know that's what they mean when they are sending people in. Okay. So what I just heard is that they're bringing you to the end of one chapter to initiate you into a new chapter. So you may be turning a page into something different, maybe rewriting a scene, a chapter in your life book, editing or doing, no, it's not editing, it's definitely a new page. This is a new scene completely. Okay. Going back to your roots and finding divine wisdom within that space, connecting more to knowledge. It's interesting because it feels like you're going up for higher knowledge, but with this collaborative dreaming, definitely bringing some kind of vision into plan into a group mind or a group setting. Because it's almost like I want to say, you got the idea, or you got an idea, or you got a vision, and now it's trying to connect that with the right people. And that's why they said new page. Completely new scene. I don't know, but it feels a little bit like there's some kind of romantic part in there too. Just on the edge of it. It's almost like, you know, cut to the new scene. after you have, yeah, I don't know why that's bringing that in. I don't know why it's bringing that in because it's weird. Because what's next is loneliness, this energy. But if you have a look at it, once again, it is a collective, isn't it? See all the people. These are what I would refer to as light bringers. People of that higher energy rate, you know, higher energy frequency. But yeah, it says, I know that I'm never alone. And loneliness is part of life too. Like, it's sort of when things get a little bit dull or boring, or if we're trying to achieve something and it's like no one hears me, sees me, feels me, it's sort of like understanding that what you're trying to manifest may have a delay. But I swear to God, probably not the right word to use, but I swear to that energy, to the universe, this is actually, it's like, yeah, what we need is a great big melting pot. It's like stirring, the universe is stirring this pot, ready to bring forward the concoction or the creativity that's being brewed at this time. This is a really fertile time for you as well, whether that is creatively or just in your life. So for me, it's interesting because I feel like I want to say tapping more into that divine feminine energy. So you may have gone through a lot of healing. You may be going through nourishing. You may be going through a high sense of intuition or just a lot more healing energy. It just depends where that goes for you. But it's sort of like, how do I say that? It's like connecting with people in your darkest times. You know, sort of like when you needed the most. It's weird because I'm getting a lot of Kiwi stuff with you, Kiwi songs. But I don't. It's just the way it comes forward. It's just learning to ask for that support, or learning to ask the universe for that support, or putting that energy and intention out there and allowing that support to come in. Because when I needed the most, couldn't find the language. You know, like I don't know, I may not always necessarily know how to communicate when I need help and support. Or, when I need help and support. And here, with chameleon spirit, act as if. Act as if means, you know, it's time to get into the belief system of knowing that this, whatever it is you're trying to create, interesting. Because your energy really, really doesn't want you to pull away. Serious. But like I said, you've got to go in to get that inner vision. So there might have been that energy of you stepping into yourself. I don't know why I said romance there. It just felt like there was something, some kind of alchemical connection or creation going on there. But yeah, it sort of feels like what you want wants you. Sort of like I think you were trying to find that space, but it's just going to take you back to people. Because, you know, like I said, right from the beginning about your energy is that you were supposed to be amongst people. And even though you may be pulling back, which is very healthy, and I do that too. When my energy becomes too much or I need something, I go deeper into my divine feminine, which means I go within, which helps me clear out any negativity. But like I said, they're definitely bringing you to the end of one chapter, moving you into a new chapter or new page or new scene. And I feel like it's just upgrading maybe the people, places, and situations that you need, that hear you and actually connect with you. Yeah. You know, yeah. When you say that you're trying to disconnect from a twin flame, felt like that was a very strong connection. But then that's right, but then it cuts to the new scene. So, cuts, keyword. But yeah, anyway, coming back. It always feels like, okay, this is a good time for you to really connect with yourself then, if that's where you are, and resonate with people at a higher frequency. Because I feel like maybe, the downside to a twin flame energy is that they force you to heal your stuff. And the downside to that also is this constant play of cat and mouse, It's like when you're open, this person's closed. When you're closed, this person's open. It's sort of like this weird dance or polarity that we do, backwards and forwards, So I feel like for you, just deeper into the feminine energy, that's It's just how it feels. But with this chameleon spirit, it's time to act as if. Act as if means it's sort of like the law of attraction. I believe that I'm going to get something, so it's time to act as if I'm going to get something, like it's already changed, like it's already new, or I've created the space in which I need to thrive, and starting to really put that into action. What I'm believing, what I'm trying to be, I will be, you know, like I don't try, there's no delay. So it feels like to manifest what you want, you've actually got to get into the right frame of mind, right connections, right situations, overcoming some of this, energy of loneliness, and connect to the right people, because I know that I am never alone. And then act as if whatever it is that you deserve is already with you. And it's okay to change shape, to evolve, to be something other than you were before. I think that's all part of the evolution, is that we are not the same. So with that chameleon spirit, I just seen the shifting of the colours. That's completely okay. I think we have to understand that we can't always be the same colour. You know, some days our auras change colour too. Like, it depends on our mood, our vibe, what we're thinking about, where we're holding pain, and the aura will shift and change. And it's so much like the chameleon spirit. So it's sort of like time for you to allow yourself to be exactly what it is that you want to be. So what you want wants you. Collaborative dreaming, loneliness, I know that I'm never alone, and chameleon spirit, act as if. So hopefully that makes sense to you. I send it to you, lots of love and good intentions, and thank you very much, Kira. Yeah, that card just feels like out of all of them it keeps jumping out, but it's sort of, like I said, it's redirection really. And you might be thinking, oh well, I've been through redirection before, but they'll constantly redirect you to better people, places and timelines, because as you shift and change and evolve, so too does your timeline and your frequency with people around you. So yeah, I reckon you went through a bit of a big eye-opening space, and it's time to move in a new direction. So thank you, Kira. Okay, Nadia? Sea Lord? Nadia? Nadia? Yeah. You've got great energy, Kira. I think you're just supposed to be amongst the people that truly value you as a person. Oh. Hi, MX Kiwi 22. Sea Lord? Just give me a third. Oh, yeah, okay. Miho, okay, awesome. Yes, she is. Awesome. Okay. Sea Lord. All right, Sea Lord. So if you want to take a deep breath, 3 deep breaths, breathing in slowly and deeply. Oh, I got a little bit confused in your energy. That's interesting. It's like a wobble. Sorry. So you might have a little bit of a psychic wall up there. So all you have to do is take 3 deep breaths, opening up the heart chakra and the crown chakra, allowing me to create that connection and safe space to connect with your higher self, to ask for spiritual guidance for your highest good. So I send this energy and reading to you with lots of love and good intentions. So here we go. I'm just going to ground down. Okay, it's interesting because I got once, twice, 3 times a lady. So this particular song always refers to the loving and gracefulness of being you. And it's an interesting song to step forward, because at first I was like, oh, I just felt like a little wobble in my heart space. And then I get that song. So someone may actually value you more than you know. and seeing you in your feminine energy or masculine energy, whichever way it goes for you, and appreciating it. So once, twice, three times a lady is actually a positive song, and it talks about someone truly seeing someone as they are and recognizing all the adversity they've had to overcome, all the things they've had to find forgiveness and love in, and doing it in a really graceful, or at least within the realm of grace, within a graceful way, overcoming mountains and challenges. Definitely still wanting to connect in that love space for some odd reason. I feel like that's important. Experiencing it. It may just be a reference to self-love, because that's where it starts. I've got to really ground down. So you might have been feeling a little bit heavy. Sorry, okay, describe what you're seeing, Sonia. It's weird, because for some odd reason I see this declaration, someone declaring, love and affection. I don't know if this is actually you, but it feels like, you know what, I'm not afraid. I'm just going to say it to the world. I'm just going to share my love. I'm going to share my time, my appreciation. Like it's someone that's very open. And it's interesting because I feel like this is a hard space for you to open. There's like hesitation there too. So it's interesting that I see this in the front of my mind. Someone going, yes. A form of celebration, of sentiment. Appreciation, gratitude, love, truthfulness, honesty. So let's pull some cards, eh? Let's pull some cards. Yeah, it's in challenge. Legacy of Light. I just want to see the card that was underneath that. After the storm. Yep, after the storm makes sense with this Legacy of Light. Oh. Okay. Oh. Well, okay. Okay, so Legacy of Light. It's an interesting card to come in. But definitely what they call the sacred endowment passed on from your ancestors or from one generation to the next. Learning, appreciating, honouring and respecting not only those that came before you, but understanding and moving forward with love and compassion for the ones coming after you. Definitely a legacy card for me. But moving with the energy of light. So Legacy of Light means knowledge. It means love. It means awareness. And also healing and clearing any ancestral patterns. This is clearing of the karmic slate so that your legacy after you have moved on, or, as you get into your older years, you see people in your life growing more healthily, if that makes sense, in love, in life, in career, having positive aspects stepping forward. I feel that that's why the heart has to be open, because there has to be this declaration and commitment to this space. So you got the whole world in your hands. Yeah. I feel like for me, it's just recognizing the role in which you play in the lives of others and understanding your responsibility for it. 7, the card number 7 with Legacy of Light, 7's from heaven. So you may have actually gotten a dream or some kind of message that really propelled you forward into knowing this and connecting with the ones you love more deeply or more intuitively, just understanding the needs of others. And then it's an interesting card that steps forward after that. It says denial, which I'm trying to struggle to see what this means, but we'll just keep talking, see what comes in. It says, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with insight of awareness. Awareness. Okay, all right. So there might have been a few years there that you weren't at your best. Let's just put it like that. Nobody's a saint. Everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a past, and not everybody does the right thing at the right time because we don't always know. We don't always know how to cope. We don't always have the tools and all that jazz. There's a lot of stuff that the old us or past versions of us didn't have the right gear to cope with what's happening now or then. In the past. So for me, it's like denial. With this energy, don't deny what you might be accountable for. Accept it. And it says, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. So instead of being afraid of being reprimanded or made to feel embarrassed, like me, I say all the time to my kids, I wasn't the best mum, but at least I tried my best with what I knew and had, and I was really messed up, guys. I always acknowledge that. I was really messed up. I didn't make those great choices. I made a lot of poor choices for me, for you, for our lives. But, it's sort of like we're in a good space now. We can actually make the right choices for us now because we know, we can work as a team now. We can, I don't have to have that pressure to create those CEO decisions that are perfect for everybody. So I would say just if you feel accountable for some things, own it. Because in the end, if you try to deny anything or if there's an energy of denial that's around you, creating that for you. So if someone else has got the energy of denial, you can just acknowledge that you may not particularly enjoy this or may fear the outcome of this. So instead of putting fear in there, you choose to put in the insight of awareness, which is trusting and believing that you can overcome any adversity in your life. And then you have Seahorse, Watch and Wait. I really like this because here comes in that graceful card, but here with Groundhog Spirit, it came with two. In Challenge, so definitely this is something about challenge. When it's in reverse, it says, Groundhog Spirit, time to let go. It's been hard to let go of something, so you may have been either running a scenario over in your head or reliving a moment that you wish you could have. It's almost like I wish I could have just either been a fly on the wall or just step back for a moment and just let this play out, because it feels like, it kind of feels like I wish I made the right moves or made the right decisions about things. But here with that Seahorse Spirit, Watch and Wait, it's sort of like it's almost like okay, guilty people or negative people will always reveal themselves without you having to do anything or prove it. They will literally do something that shows that they're negative or detrimental or lying about something or denying something, if you just step back and let that bring itself to the light. But over here, I'm finding it very hard to let go, so it feels a little bit like frustration there. I feel a bit frustrated about something, and that's why I sort of felt that wobble. It's sort of like, something close to the heart that you're really trying to bring some healing or help to, but someone may be blocking that. If not you, someone else is blocking that space, but you're taking deep responsibility for what you've done, who you are, and who you're becoming. So it's sort of like the only thing that's really blocking you is that it's just time to let go of any mistakes that you've made and come into the understanding that, you did what you had to do at that time. And that's enough. you know. So hopefully that makes sense, dear Lord, or Nadia, for you. I send it to you with lots of love and good intentions. And thank you very much. Yeah, I like that legacy of light. I like seahorse. Seahorse actually means strength and spirituality. Because you think, what, seahorse? Why does seahorse mean strength? But it's the way it treats its environment. It holds the environment without hurting the environment. It's like it lives symbiotic with its environment, and it doesn't hurt anybody. That's why it's so strong. So maybe that's just adapting that seahorse energy and living in an environment, and then learning to just allow things to be without, just floating in that calm waters instead of being taken away by the ocean of emotion. We all know. Okay, Victoria. I love you too. It's okay. Don't you worry about that. I appreciate the love. Okay, Victoria Gilmore. All right. Okay, I've just got a few names, but I will open it up if I've got time. After Mama Sarah. And I'll put Lucy in there too if Lucy's still here. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that so much. All right. Okay. I'll just give these all a quick shuffle. So it's, freedom. Yeah, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. I like that. Sorry. I just wanted to give these a quick shuffle, just moving the energy around. Do that in between. Sometimes I do that in between reads. And take a drink of water, and then I'll start on your energy, Victoria. So if you'd just like to take 3 deep breaths, opening up, breathing slowly and deeply, and opening up the heart chakra, the crown chakra. And I'll just ground into the energy, creating that safe space. Connecting with your higher self, asking for spiritual guidance for your highest good. I send this message to you with lots of love and good intentions. Victoria. Why do I get that song for certain people? Definitely a giver. I think I might have said this to you before. It feels like I've said this before. Give a little piece of my love to you. So, that's my empath song. That's an empath that hasn't quite learned to master being an empath and moving into clairsentience. This is where we become clairsentience, is when we have our heart open, we give freely, we receive freely, but we have boundaries on negativity, negative people. We give to what's needed. So it's learning that our energy is precious, right? And that we just can't give it out willy-nilly. We have to be mindful of where we focus our time and energy, and where, creativity goes, or focus goes where energy flows, or something like that. I'm trying to remember it properly. But it feels like if your energy is focusing in on one person, all your energy is going to go there, and you're going to be feeling very, very low or low vibrational if this person isn't returning it or amplifying your energy back to you. It's like, where's that reciprocity? Where's that equal give and take? Because you can't just give all the time. It has to be replenished. Or Spirit will put you on your butt and make you replenish. And that's the last thing you really want, because when they have to make you do things, because they don't really like to, they love you to have free will. But if they see that you're suffering too much for too long, it's such a low vibration that you don't deserve to be, the universe will be, Victoria, time to change the energy. Sorry, I just want to make that dramatic. The pounding of my fist. Like they're just like, I can't take this anymore. I can't bear to watch you suffer. Because they love you. Energy and spirit loves you. or the universe and spirit love you, and they love your energy, and they want your energy here, and they want your energy to be successful, and they want you to feel loved, and they don't want you to cry, and they don't want you to suffer. They want you to thrive and feel loved. That is the ultimate wish of the universe for each and every one of us here on this earth. Same as you. No more, no less. Everyone is equal in spirit's eyes. And they always acknowledge, yeah, you're not a saint, you're not perfect, and we don't expect you to be. We wouldn't send you to the earth to be perfect, right? They wouldn't send us here to be perfect, not at all. In fact, it's because of the flawed system, it's because of the way humans are, that this is the perfect place to evolve. All right. Yeah. Just putting boundaries up, protecting your energy would be really good right now. So let's pull some cards. Felt like I was getting into the big lecture. Ooh, okay, I like this one. You got in the world, not of the world. I'll show it soon. Okay. Got a lot of things going on right now. We're going to ask for the main story that needs to be told. Thank you. That was in challenge. Okay. I wanted to turn it upright, but it just means, maybe not quite coming to terms with something. And you see clearly down here. And you got our spirit. Okay, so you got in the world, not of the world. Okay. Interesting that we came forward with that, realizing that we're sent here. So, soul state. Okay, thank you. In the world, not of the world. Now, this is a really good card. I'm going to read it, but for me, this is always the card of letting go and emerging from wounds and patterns of wounds and energy that causes us pain and suffering. Emerging out of that, choosing to be reborn, or choosing, I don't really like that terminology, but that rebirth energy where we emerge out of the darkness into wholeness, or out of that space where we feel like we're being overtaken. And standing up, open-armed, ready to fly. It's sort of like hatching, like you're a bird, you're an egg, right? Sitting in the nest, and then you hatch. And then, your parents are coming in, feeding you, and then there's this moment where you have to learn how to fly, and that's the moment that you're at right now. In the world, not of the world. Let's read it. Number 34, which breaks down to a 7. Divine intervention. Okay. I have to cover up parts, so sorry. The card. It says, it is safe for you to become naked with life. This doesn't necessarily mean stripping off and running wild in public. It does mean stripping back your beliefs, strongholds, and mental or emotional security blankets so that you can live with less obstruction than ever before. Imagine the conditioning that has kept life away from you, just kept it dropping out of your hands like keys, coins, or clocks. Conditioned beliefs about money, time, security, having, locking away, holding, and controlling can be surrendered and allowed to fall away. What would it be like to feel as though you were on holiday every day? Perhaps there would be a softening in the way you see life, an implicit trust in its flow, and a faith in the ability of time to bend and stretch as needed so that all may be accomplished. It is an advanced stage of our spiritual relationship with life that we are able to feel held within it sufficiently enough to surrender our defenses layer by layer and to nakedly accept what is. It says, this oracle comes as a message to you. Sometimes we need our defenses. At other times it is clear we are outgrowing them. There is something that you have outgrown. It has to do with your ideas about productivity, time control, and money. It has to do with abundance, trust, and living with the fundamental belief that everything is going to turn out okay. You are ready to be much more vulnerable. Vulnerable is a strength, and exposed in life. And you don't have to hide behind being organized, perfect, in control, or financially secure and stable. nor do you need any other acceptable social phase. It is time for you to loosen the strings of your own controlling nature. They are too tight and too restrictive for you anyway. You were born to live in a much freer way. So, like I said, the universe has your back. It wants you to thrive. It wants you to grow. It wants you to be successful. And we have to stop using our energies in ways that keep us less than, and then believing we are less than. Okay? So it's sort of like a really good time for you to let go of all those wounds, those mindsets, those belief systems, and find the freedom to learn to fly. That's that way they came in. And here your energy was struggling with failure. Okay, so you may be struggling with feeling like a failure, or failing people, or letting people down, or feeling like there's been a lot of things that you could be better at. Let that go, because here with failure, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. And when you have a learner's mindset, anything becomes an opportunity. Okay? And here with our spirit, you see clearly now. So I really like this, because this card, when I broke it down to like a very simple way of seeing this card, it is saying that you know the way through adversity. You can see clearly what you need to do and how you need to do it, because nobody knows you better than you. So it's learning to trust and believe in the wisdom of your soul, because I feel like your soul is, for me, it's always the soul, the person behind watching. You know what I mean? The original self. And it's sort of like when we start listening to that actual inner wisdom that we really have, and not the logical mind, because the logical mind creates, it's good for us in moments, but it has the conditionings of society and belief systems of others. And when we learn to listen to the wisdom and believe in its truth, we then can make the right decisions for us to step forward and see our pathway and purpose more clearly. So thank you, Victoria. I hope that made sense for you. I send that to you with lots of love and good intentions. And thank you very much. Awesome. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Victoria. I appreciate you for saying that. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry I haven't not always seen everybody's messages. Valentina, will I get pregnant this year? Let's ask. Yes. Lots of children in your future. All right. I just saw butterflies, so yes. Just going to shuffle these up real quick. And then I have Sabrina. Sabrina. I see you, Felicia. I'm going to put you down. I won't miss you this round. I'm just going to randomly add people as I'm going. Oh, I've missed you too. I missed everybody. I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. I just needed a couple of days to, cleanse socially with my social media. The energy got really heavy, but yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, and that's why I stepped forward today. Oh, step forward today. Okay, very welcome, Sabrina. All right. So, Sabrina, if you just take 3 deep breaths. You're going to win, Michael. 3 deep breaths, breathing in slowly and deeply, opening up the heart chakra, the crown chakra, allowing me to connect in, creating that safe space, connecting with your higher self, asking for spiritual guidance for your highest good. I send this message to you with lots of love and good intentions. Okay. Sabrina, get. Oh, what was that noise? That's my daughter, sorry. The song I got was Relax, Just Do It When You Want to Go to It. Relax, just do it when you want to go. So, might be a good time to relax. You know, and it's funny that it's weird. It's kind of something that I've had to tell a lot of people. It's sort of just like, relax, because you know what? Things are going to get better. And I know that for myself, when I'm getting this heaviness and the heavy energy and I'm having to heal things or look at things or contribute to someone else's healing, there's a part of me that always says, okay, just relax on you because the universe has got this. And this belief system that I have created. And it's not always easy to stay in that space, but there's a part of me that will always switch to that belief system of knowing, welcoming and loving and supportive thought forms of knowing things are going to get better. And I don't have to constantly be on guard or be tense or be overworking and grinding and trying to keep control of a situation, because sometimes you just got to let that shit go feral. You know, let it go crazy wild and just sit back and watch it slowly unravel itself and process into something better. You know, it's like really putting in that mindset. You do have a lot of ancestral healing stepping forward, because I'm standing in a forest, and we all know, if you've been with me long enough, if I see trees, it usually means that we have ancestral healing. So you might be a bit of a black sheep. So the black sheeps are always the ones that are sort of like, that go through a lot more crap than their other siblings, or take on a lot more of their responsibility in the family or in the home life. But yeah, it's just funny that they say it like that. It's just time to let that shit go feral. And it's sort of like, I think it's because I feel like the normal pattern would be for you to come in and fix things or make it right. And it's sort of like, don't make it right this time. They say two wrongs don't make it right, you know. Da-da-da, I'm not trying to fight. I don't know all the words. Trying to have some candlelight, lay in the bed and make love all night. So I don't know, it's about that, but it just felt like that. It's just time to let it go crazy wild and let it process itself. Because it feels like if you try to stop the process of what's going on in your life or situations, and it may not be super dramatic, it may just be like something really small going crazy wild. Yeah, they're literally saying to me, it's time for you to relax, and it will heal itself, either through time or with love and compassion, you know. So let's pull some cards. Yeah, rest and restore. Like it's an interesting card. It's a relaxed card. Is there another card? No, I thought there was another card. Let's look at the bottom. Follow your own rhythm. Yeah, see, that's, yeah, literally. Okay. Coyote spirit. It's in challenge. I've done it in the wrong order, but I think this is why we're doing it in the wrong order, because because I feel like we're trying to break a pattern here, so we're not doing it with my normal pattern. So here we have rest, restore and replenish your energy. That's what I mean. It's sort of like I said. Sorry, that coyote spirit really gave me a fright, because it says trust in divine detours. But that's the hardest part, is learning to trust. But this is a good time to replenish, realign, reset any goals or any energies that may be distorted in your life at this time. Like, distorted is a really strong word. This keep giving me distorted. I'm like, why distorted? But because of energy flow. So I always talked about the energy flow, like an energy grid, if you can imagine. But when we have interference, it's like wobbles. So what spirit does is it tries to realign your life so that these wobbles don't interfere, and that the energy can flow more freely and more fully without having to go through all these little wobbles in your energy grid. So like there, you're in the middle of your energy grid, and this may be a really strong time that spirit is really bringing you back into wholeness. That's not easy. That's an energy of healing. That's an energy of like that, relax. They keep saying, just relax. restore and replenish. There's the R words: realignment, reset, rejuvenate, redo, renew. It's all those kind of energies coming forward. So I feel like if you really, instead of fighting this system that the spirit is trying to bring in for you, or your soul is trying to create, instead of fighting it, really just relax into it, rest and restore your energy, so that when it's needed, you can step forward. Because right now, with this coyote spirit being literally your main energy in challenge, so it means that we're finding it difficult to understand what's going on. We're finding it hard to trust in divine detours. We're finding it hard to trust in the path in which, like I said, like divine detours, it's like we have a set path going along, and then there's this divine detours that jump in, they're like blah, 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 over here, and then brings you back to the path, and those little mixes up of the pathway. It's sort of like, I don't really like these, and so I'm really uncomfortable. But it's in that uncomfortable state that spirit moves you to expansion. And expansion, like I said, right now you're imploding. It's like an inward motion, right? So I talk a lot about the arrow with spirit. So when spirit wants to move you to hit a target, this is how an arrow works, right? A bow and arrow. The actual person that's shooting has to pull the arrow back into alignment, set up with the target. So where you're at is you're in this space of pulling the arrow back. But when spirit lets go, and it needs energy to do this, when it lets go, you're going to hit the mark. You're going to hit that target. So it's learning to relax into that space, to trust in the divine detours that spirit puts you through, or situations to move you into the right placement. Because if they don't have the right energy, you're going to fall short. If they use too much energy, you're going to go over. Okay? So anyway, coming back in. Might be really hard to trust in the universe, but the universe loves you. You guys heard me say the whole spiel about the universe loving you, supporting you. It does. It does. And when you start actually believing that, and this is something that I have to do and remind myself too, but the universe loves me. The universe wants me to be successful. The universe wants me to thrive. The universe wants me to be me, fully, happily, healthily, because this is the life in which I'm going to achieve that. And it's sort of like remembering that, bringing that in every time things get a little bit rough, feral, every time things don't go to plan, don't go, oh, this is my lot. Oh, this always happens every time I do something. When I want something, this always happens. Because what you're doing is creating negative thought forms, connecting it to an emotion that whenever things start going right, somehow you're going to expect it to be sabotaged. And when you think it, you create it. Okay? Oh, good night, Tyler. And here your energy of blame comes forward from the soul. So blame. And it says, I accept my responsibility for my well-being. And it's funny because a lot of this space is actually about you letting go of lower vibrational energies, thought forms, and vibrations. And the thing is, blame is something that I always say about the solar plexus. You know, we always hold guilt, shame, blame in these spaces whenever we feel like we need to do something for ourselves. Or every time like I said, every time it feels like things are going to go right, we have this weird thing of blaming ourselves. I feel like someone just hit the table. That was interesting. So it feels like it's just time to let go of that blame for me, accept responsibility for what you did make mistakes on, and then move forward. Because it's sort of like a lot of us have to learn to take accountability for what we've done. And then realize, you know what, I couldn't fix those situations. I didn't know what to do. This is something that I have to do myself. I didn't know. How am I supposed to know what to do? And so it's learning to release that blame from you, or if that's the energy, or if someone's blaming you for something, that's their energy, not yours. Don't take it on. But like I said, take responsibility for what it is that you've made mistakes on, and know that this is actually going to help you. sort of like help you heal whatever's sort of going a little bit haywire over there. So it's just letting go of the blame. It's not your fault, and it is not beneficial for you to hold on to that thought that you mess things up a lot, because that's how it feels, or there's an element that messes it up. Yeah. But in the end, you have to believe the universe loves you. The universe wants you to heal. The universe wants you to be successful. And it's time to allow that and trust in that love, to know that you can actually be connected to love at all times. You know, and love transmutes so much different things in our lives. We don't even know that if we choose to go, okay, I welcome more love into my life in this moment to help me heal and overcome any obstacles, mountains, emotions, feelings, connections, attachments, thought forms, belief systems, anything that is negative in my body, my energy, in my life, and allow that to clear it and purify and bring in more love. And you see the light gets brighter and brighter in your life, and solutions become brighter and brighter and clearer and clearer. And it's just clearing out the stuff in here that keeps us from tapping into here. Okay? So I send it to you with lots of love and good intentions, Sabrina. Hopefully that helps you now and in the future. And thank you very much. Okay. Trinity. Hey there, I don't do future readings, sorry. I do the here and now. I actually don't do love readings either. I do soul readings. I'm a soul reader. So I read your soul's energy and I bring forward a message of healing. So sorry. Yoda. Thank you, Sabrina. Okay. Trinity Wood, I think. Just let me know you're here, please. I have a few names in there, guys. Sorry, my butt's getting sore from sitting on this chair. Sorry. I'm going to put my leg up. Here we go. We're going into put my leg up. Okay, I'm relaxing. Here we go. All right, guys. Okay, Trinity. Okay, awesome. Kia ora. Okay, after Felicia, I'll open up the list again. I did take a couple of the extra names for the ones that have been here for a while, but okay. Okay, Trinity, I'm just shuffling these decks, and then I'll get you to take 3 deep breaths, breathing in slowly and deeply, opening up the heart chakra and the crown chakra. Connecting into the safe space with your higher self, asking for spiritual guidance for your highest good. I send this message to you with lots of love and good intentions. All right. Okay, let's go. Oh, I want to pull the card straight away. I didn't even want to get into the intuition. What's going on? I'm in a rush. Oh, weird. Steady. Are you ready? Are you ready? What's going on? What's going on? What's that song? Steady. Are you ready? Are you ready? However do you want it? That's it. However do you need it? However do you want it? However. Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't heard that song step forward before, so you do definitely have a different message. Okay, for me, that particular song reminds me of Kanye on the airplane with his church people, and they're singing their lungs out, and it's an amazing, positive, uplifting vibe. It's funny what they just said. It's like, so I hear it comes across the front of my mind, but it feels like someone's talking to me. And it's sort of like they said, you have a choir of angels around you everywhere you go, Trinity. They're singing your name, they're singing your praises, they're singing love to you. You may not be aware of it, that there's this loving energy that's attached to you, around you, connected to you in positive ways, and this is your spiritual team. Steady, are you ready? Sings that song over and over. It's really loud. So they may be asking you if you're ready to take that next step forward. Of course, they'll ask for permission first, but don't create that energy in which they have to push you just a little bit towards that path. It's better to take that step forward and choose with love and compassion to move into a new phase. Because it feels like they keep saying, steady, are you ready? Are you ready? It's just the way it keeps echoing in my mind. So this is something they really want to bring forward. It's time to step forward. You're ready. However do you want it? However do you need it? Co-create with spirit. Co-create with spirit. Co-create with spirit. I don't know if what religion you believe in, but there's definitely a loving force in your life that is encouraging you to step up or step forward and create and manifest a scenario, situation, or place that benefits you. Why not reach for the top? Why not go for the gold? Why not be the best at what you do? Whatever it is that you do. It's really important. I'm getting a lot of urban scenes. I don't know why that is. I don't know if you're urban. Live in urban, like city, inner city kind of energy. Like I'm seeing big bridges, I'm seeing graffiti, but not in a negative, not like dirty, trashy, but just like, yeah, something like I would say like Sydney or something, where you go into the towns and you see the actual town and everything's so big. So you may be feeling like, oh, I'm just one person here, but you've got all this energy that wants to push you forward towards a goal and towards your purpose, very clearly said. And your energy, I really like your energy. It's like greens and blues. I really like that, which is kind of turquoisey, but it's more in the green space. So green for me is heart-centered. And then like having this really strong line of truth or communicational space. So if you're connecting in with your heart and you're speaking your truth, that's the kind of people you need out there in the world. Heart-centered beings that speak their truth, that see their truth, that know their truth. Steady, are you ready? It keeps coming in. What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Yeah. Co-create with spirit. That keeps coming forward in my mind. It's just time for you to tell them what you want. Tell them what you want. Tell them what you need. Yeah. However do you want it? However do you need it? However do you want it? That's soul to soul, eh? Okay. I live in the top of the block. Yeah. Okay, so you got 3 cards, but I'm only going to take the top one, but I will acknowledge you've got free from love, free from judgment, and challenge. So heart space may not literally be your most easiest part to open up. And then you have conscious connections, so definitely sort of about love or people that you care about. But your main energy that came from this deck, or the top energy, was come to life. Oh, sorry, it's artistic, so it has some elements of nudity. Come to life 43, breaking down to a 7. 7's from heaven. Just saying, I'm in a city right now. Ooh. That freaks me out a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. It's just wherever it resonates for you, like, yeah, it just felt, I'm seeing a lot of urban, well, I say urban, but it's like inner city kind of space, scenery. Okay. Whew, it's in challenge, but I like that they came forward for you. Oh, interesting. I'm like, can you just stop singing? Okay, that's good. It literally ebbed out there for a moment. So my antenna towards you is really strong. And that's come back. Okay, yeah, okay. So you're definitely in resistance to creating this connection with the energies around you, with the universe maybe. But that come to life energy is where we're letting go of the logical mind, where we're letting go of the mindset, what they call the monkey mind in this. If you notice right there, it's the monkey mind. And behind you is this chessboard area. So it's sort of like getting out of mind games, getting into heart games, getting into what's real for you, connecting more in with your intuition. Like this is you choosing to become more colorful. Oh, isn't that interesting? That grasshopper is green and blue. Yeah, sorry, I just noticed the colors. And in doing that, really inspiring and creating a community that allows people to come into full expression of who they are. I feel like you intuitively know and how to help others as well. So this is not just about you, this is about your community. So you may be moving in ways, I don't know how you move in your life, but I feel like you may be moving in ways that put you in pathways of people that will really, really help you become what you need to be, because it feels like it's sort of like Spirit is really rallying behind you. You're really needing courage to step forward and not be afraid, is the best word I want to say. Don't be afraid of it. It may seem bigger than you. You may seem like just one person or super small in the game. But you'll be surprised when you move into the right space how fast things change and move for you, because you're exactly where you need to be. And you have one card, which is trust in challenge, and your other card, which is the grasshopper spirit in challenge. So, you know, like I said, you're coming to life, you're coming to life or to light in understanding that you are wanting to make change, pretty much. You want to create change. And here with trust, it says, I accept my inner voice. I accept my inner voice will always guide me correctly. That is someone that is intuitively connecting to their truth. That's what I mean. You're definitely there, but it's sort of like, okay, it's real, okay? They just said, just tell her it's real. Tell her that the messages and the signs and the synchronicities that she's getting are real, because we're really communicating with her. She doesn't believe it. Because it's all this whole mindset of like, me? Why me? There's nothing special about me, but maybe there is. All right. And here we have grasshopper spirit. Take a leap of faith in challenge. Trusting and believing in spirit. Might be a time to really bring forward taking that leap of faith and just surrendering to it. Because in there, like I said, there's that, you know, the blues and greens of that grasshopper, and it's got yellows in there too, but it's just the way it like kind of looked to me was the colours that I was seeing. And it's sort of just like it was funny because I just, you know, the grasshopper, like it's just like a reference here in New Zealand where we tapping into that inner ninja, that inner wisdom guide guru kind of energy. Grasshopper, you know, this is the way they said it like that. That yeah, you're literally at a time in your life where you could just decide to trust in yourself and your intuition and take a leap of faith in a new direction. Because as you start letting go of old thought systems and belief systems and like thought forms, you know, and really start getting out of what I would refer to the status quo and moving into a more authentic space for you, and authenticity arises again. For many people, it'll just keep coming forward, because the more we start learning who we are, the more original we become, original in our energy and frequency and in our thoughts and in what we say in the world. And what we say in the world really matters at this time, putting out that voice and that truth, okay? So hopefully this made sense to you, and I send this to you with lots of love and good intentions. But yeah, come to life, trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. And grasshopper spirit, take a leap of faith. Okay? Thank you very much, Trinity. Lisa Poodoo. Sorry, I know it's a bit of a wait. Lisa. Thanks, guys. I appreciate all the support and love and all the likes. Thank you very much. Lisa Poodoo. Lisa, just let me know you're here. I'll give her a little bit. It gives me a time to have a bit of a break in between. I'm here, Sonia. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Trinity. All right, Lisa, I'm just going to take a drink. Yeah. All right. Sorry, I just heard a song, so okay, we'll just see what the energy, where it takes us, Lisa. So if you'd like to take 3 deep breaths, breathing in slowly and deeply, and opening up the heart chakra, just emotion or energy just arising out of there. With every breath, opening up the crown chakra, allowing that mind to open, to receive. An open heart and mind receives blessings from the universe. Now going down into the energy, creating a safe space to connect with your higher self, which is also your spiritual team, guides and ancestors. And ask for messages for your highest good. And I send this message to you with lots of love and good intentions. I'm getting diamonds and pearls. Came forward before and it's still here now. So I love this particular song, and it is a song that symbolizes someone who is starting to value themselves and seeing the beauty of their soul stepping forward. Either it's weird because I see it in your eyes. You know, it's like some people have a light in their eyes. Their eyes are so deep and so full that when you look at them, there's this like sparkle. And I see that stepping forward in your energy, which is an illumination of something within you that is starting to be seen by others. A special energy or connection that you have with your energy. Diamonds and pearls always refer to the energy of the pearl of wisdom, and diamonds mean illumination. It also means value, dignity, honor, trust, belief, and beauty. And I'll just go to the ocean. It's interesting, standing there with my feet in the ocean. But it's sort of like, if I can see for you, it is sunset. So I usually have a waiting room where I sit with the energy and just observe it. So I'm seeing sunset and I see a little bit of red. Yeah, red at night, shepherd's delight. So I just want to say you may have gone through a bit of a heavy-ish kind of emotional period, or a period of, or a phase of a lot of emotional downpour. I think it's actually really normal because the energy has been a little bit like, you know, weird and heavy and a little bit dark side. Because for some of us stepping into this Leo season, it's quite a strong distinction between Cancer and Leo, water and fire. So there's this conflict and the transition. So the energy's been pretty full on. So it's normal to feel that way. It's like my music stopped. Please. Okay. All right. Sorry. I like having music there because it just gets my mind going. But yeah, it's sort of like with seeing the red in the sky, my whole belief system is that red in the morning, shepherd's warning, red at night, shepherd's delight. It's something that I got taught as a kid, so I knew that when it was dark or red in the night sky, that it would often be really nice and sunshiny tomorrow, the next day. So it feels like, you know, the sun is actually due to come up soon for you. That things will actually get a little bit brighter and better, but you are in the last stages of going through maybe a heavy time or lesson in your life and choosing to heal it. I feel like you're choosing to heal this energy because it's you that steps towards the water. So for me, that's someone not afraid, or not so much afraid, but not afraid to put their foot in the water and see what's how the temperature feels, how it feels. And so it's like choosing to open up a little bit and letting and releasing some of the energy that may have been stagnant within you that needs to leave you now. Okay. So it's weird. It's a weird feeling, but it's like I got this in the back of my head, an energy that may have been sitting in your mind for a while. So there's a really good time to release it while you're there in the purifying waters of the ocean. Or the river. Yeah. Okay. Definitely a time of release. Because for some odd reason I felt this pressure in the back of my head. So sometimes if I feel pressure or tappings in my head space, it's just letting me know that something might have been tuning over in the back of your mind that's kind of brought you down. And it was just like a very sharp way, so it might have hurt a little bit. Hopefully that makes sense for you. So let's pull some cards. Lisa, please, highest good. Lisa. You could come to life too, but it came out with another card, which is funny. They were not in it together, but free from judgment, free to love. Yeah. Okay, carry on. Surrender and challenge. I can release my need to control. Oh shit. Sorry. That flew out. Let's pull it out. Okay, and then we have Pig Spirit. Use your mind wisely. And Dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch. Weirdly, that's pretty much what the first two cards will be saying as well. So here we have coming back to come to life. This is definitely an energy of wisdom for you. Letting go of old belief systems, or finding a space to do this. Like I said, this card always reminds me of saying, I'm not here for the mind games. I'm not here to play games. I'm here to grow something new. I'm here to change something within me. Okay? So it feels like there's that 43, number 7, divine intervention from heaven. And then that free from judgment, free to love. You know? Free yourself from anything that holds you back, and bring this beautiful loving energy into your space. And that's that whole, like it's learning to with that Diamonds of Pearl song, learning to welcome more beauty, love, value, worth, honesty, trust and belief into your life, being more heart-centered. When you're more heart-centered, so a lot of this I talk about the heart because I'm a heart-centered being. This is where I make all my decisions. This is where I connect when I connect to me. And what I do is I take deep breaths to bring myself into wholeness. Okay? So when we bring ourselves back into wholeness, that's what it's asking you as you choose to change and break free from molds that you were stuck in. Mold as in a mold that people had made you into. And realize I'm not really made for this shape. I want to be another shape. And as you learn to become more heart-centered and bring all your energy back to wholeness and connecting with you, you may actually approach life in a little bit more loving, softer way. So life might have actually been really, really hard for you, or heavy at times to get through. And here with surrender, I can release my need to control. That's the struggle, because that come to life card here represents you letting go of the monkey mind, right? I talked about that just previous. Letting go of the monkey mind. And the monkey mind is sort of like this base, foundational space in which we have our belief systems, our foundations, literally. And it's breaking free from them. And so it's hard to surrender to. It's like they're singing that song, go with the flow, you know, learning to go with the flow more, because that's more natural. Flow could also represent the moon cycles. Flow could also represent your intuition. They keep showing me the water, so for me it's emotions and intuition, healing and flow. You're in resistance, so the energy is trying to push you into a way that helps you. But it's hard. Like I said, I was saying, you know, you're putting your foot in that water, and then it kind of showed me the truth, which was just the toe. I just want the toe in, the water's cold. You know, like there's definitely this resistance to do the deep dive. And I wouldn't blame you, because it's not fair what happens in our life, and it's hard to revisit things. So surrender. I can release my need to control, because when we allow things to flow for more naturally, the real things come towards us easily, or better, or faster, or more efficiently. And here with Pig Spirit, use your mind wisely. You know, there's that can-do attitude with this. I can't get past it. There's a can-do attitude when it comes to your mind. When you use your mind wisely, and this is something that I do, when I use my mind wisely, I make the right choices. This is a belief system that I put into me. I have many different uplifting belief systems, so that when one starts to fall down or falter, let's just say I'm struggling with one, believing that I'm loved, safe, blessed and protected, I have another one that comes in. When I use my mind wisely, I make the right decisions. But also I know that when I open up my mind, I open up my heart together. They have to work in unison, so that you get a more clear and open image of what really is happening in your energy, in your life, in your world. So yeah, that Pig Spirit, use your mind wisely, find the solutions that you need, overcome some obstacles with pure understanding that things will get better for you. And here with Dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch, bring some love, compassion, honesty, truth and beauty into your life, because in the end you are naturally a gentle soul. That's what I want to say about that. Or, you know, one of those really tender hearts, which is really why you may find it hard to let go, because you've had to protect yourself. You've gotten very, very used to protecting yourself. And it's hard to let that be open and flow freely. So I totally understand, but, you know, Spirit is around you in many beautiful ways. If only you could see them in the way that they see you, you'd actually understand why they want you to move forward, why they want you to heal certain things, why they want you to come to life. Because it's sort of like with this come to life card, it always sort of just is like, you know, I'm not here to fuck around. I'm not here to play games. I'm here to do the business, you know. I'm here to do the work. I'm not afraid to do the work, but understanding that the work that you may need to do is actually learning to bring in more love, more loving thought forms, more supportive thought forms, and then allowing yourself to surrender into that healing or knowing or illumination, and let the light come back to your eyes. Because really that was the first thing I noticed, was that it was almost like the sparkle had gone out of your eyes, but it's always been there. It's always been there. It never actually left you ever. And that it was actually really time to see it once more. But yeah, use your mind wisely and bring in a gentle touch. So hopefully that makes sense for you, Lisa. I send it to you with lots of love and good intentions, and thank you very much for letting me read your cards. Mama Sarah, hopefully she's still here. If you've done the right work and stuff, Marisha, I would say yes. Mama Sarah? I know, guys, I'm not taking names here. I think Mama Sarah's gone, is she? Let's just give her a moment. I'm good, thank you. I think Mama Sarah must be gone. I think I can see who's in here. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. Mama Sarah? Okay, well, let's move on. I'll just put her there if she comes back. I actually wanted to read her because she was so generous. And Lucy? Yes, I think she's gone. Thank you, Lisa. Do you know, may I know what is true intention for me? I don't know if its true intention is to help you, to be honest. Okay, Lucy. Hi, guys. I know that you all want a reading. I've got Lucy and Felicia, and then I'll open up for a couple of more names if I've got time. All right? Okay. All right, Lucy. Hi, Lucy. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that, love. Huh? Is this a Cherokee Indian in the back? Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, I don't do future readings. It's more like, how do I describe that? The future isn't really written yet. The only thing you can really deal with, what is reality, is here and now. In the future, if given, like, let's say, Beulah Strauss, if I said to you, you're going to win Lotto in 2 weeks' time, for 2 weeks you'll be getting anxiety about Lotto or the lottery, and what if you don't win? It doesn't seem, some people can do that. That's not what I do. I focus on the here and now, because in the here and now, your soul is here and now. It exists. All right. Okay, Lucy. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm still here. So yeah. Okay, Denise. Did you take her? Where are we? No, she hasn't come in yet. Okay, anyway, let's get into it. Lucy and Felicia. And then I saw one lady. Denise, I see you. Denise, love, I'll put you down too. All right. Okay, Lucy, if you'd like to take 3 deep breaths, breathing in slowly and deeply, opening up your heart chakra and your crown chakra. I like your energy. I always like Lucy's energy. Okay, creating that safe space with your higher self. For your highest good, I send this message to you with lots of love and good intentions. The song that I got for you, and it's old school, so I always get the old school songs. It was how sweet it is to be loved by you. Sorry, I wanted to sing that a little less nasally, but that's just how it came. How sweet it is to be loved by you. And I felt quite upbeat and good about that. I'm seeing lots of orange in your energy. It's weird the way I'm seeing all these like orange. Now, orange also refers to the sacral energy, which is fire and desire. But it also is a very strong manifesting space. I generate a lot of energy for my sacral as well. Within that deep feminine energy, you may be moving more into your feminine energy, intuitively nourishing people, tending to people, caring for people, because they're talking about how sweet your love is. to have your energy, your time and focus directed at people that feel very loved and connected to you. Like fine wine is weird. Like I can see someone sipping wine and go, you know, like how they blow on it, sniff it, and doing all that, and it's sort of like that kind of like you leave that nice gentle taste on the palate kind of thing. I feel like you're really definitely have to do some ancestral space, because now I've moved into the forest, but it's kind of like Mowgli. You know what I mean? Being part of nature, and not apart from nature. I feel like you're moving more into like honouring your ancestral beginnings, honouring that space, but also being a part of something that you're more naturally attuned to. And I see a dove. So a lot of pure intentions. Yeah. Higher connection. I really like your energy. It's sort of giving me good vibes. I'm just going to ask what it is I need to speak about. Okay. So they're asking me to tell you it's time to create that bridge, because I feel like what I'm seeing is like I'm seeing like a peninsula. Okay, so a peninsula is like a piece of land that's sort of sticking out, and there's lots of trees on there, and it's very nice, and right at the end of this peninsula is like a town. I don't know if that's some place that you know, but it's like this town on this peninsula. And it was almost like they said, now it's time to create a bridge, because it feels like energy. Okay, yep, they were like, definitely time to create a bridge, because it feels like somebody that you're connecting to or needing to connect to lives over there. Is what they said, over there. But the way they motioned was almost like creating that bridge over there. But over there is very different, I would say. But it might be a good adventure for you at this time. I think you're in a good frame of mind and more trusting of yourself that you could take an adventure at this time. Spice up your life. Yeah. Yeah. You can take the heat. So that may refer to your culinary gifts. You might be able to handle hot and spicy food. Right, let's pull some cards. Okay, we'll take those then. Okay. Hard to let go though, isn't it? You know, it's funny because for all the expansion that you're feeling and I'm feeling in your energy, the hardest part is to know how you feel about things, because you have a lot of it's weird, this took a shift, but it's not in a way that I'm just being asked to bring cards one at a time, so I'll just speak about this and then we'll flip and then we'll flip. So I got she feels she knows in reverse, so we know this is in challenge. Number 22. 22 for me is about union energy, connection, decisions. Hard to make that decision, hard to know how I feel, hard to know what I know to be real. Yeah, to be real, literally is playing in my head. What you find, I think I love you, what you feel, I think it's real, what you know. To be real, it's got to be real. Yeah. Okay, you ain't gonna build a bridge for just anybody. That's what it's saying in this energy. I'm just gonna build a bridge for just anyone. It has to be for the one or for someone I know and stand in the truth of knowing that they are worth my time, focus, and energy. Because you know how precious it is. That the actual value that you put on your own time, energy, and love is really, really important. And you know the value of it. This is why if someone gives you those red flags or creepy vibes or something doesn't sit right, it's actually really good for you to sit and think about it. Because over here within the world, not of the world, even though this is an emergence for moons, you know you don't want to have to go through healing things again. You don't want to have to be in a space of returning to a cycle. That song? Oh, now that I want it, it's gone. It's the ex-boyfriend song. It's been playing all this time and then it just stopped. Of course, now that I want to actually sing it. I'll be a fool to go back to my ex-boyfriend. It's not, I've lost the melody, sorry. It's been playing in my head all day. Actually, mainly all weekend. So for me, it was just like, okay, obviously patterns are coming forward for a lot of people. And so for you, this is literally you understanding, if I'm not sure about someone, there has to be a valid reason, right? And that you do not want to repeat an old cycle where you have to go through healing again because you know it's not worth it, or healing is worth it, but you're a bit gun shy. You know, don't want to get hit again, don't want to get hurt again. So it makes sense that there would be this resistance. Oh, and you got judgment card. And you know what judgment card means? Like in the tarot, judgment is literally bringing the universe, bringing back ex-partners from the past. So it's interesting that this, someone got muted. You're being a bad boy. Someone got, So it feels like definitely not wanting to repeat patterns, or with this energy, with this judgment energy coming forward, not wanting to bring something back from the past. I've already been through this, don't need it again. Me too, hey, I love that song too. And then it says, judgment, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So it's sort of like, you know, same as you, right? You know this for yourself. And you've overcome so much challenges right now. Why would you want to create more? But like I said, Spirit is encouraging an adventure. Spirit is encouraging a connection. So maybe it's time to really get into the knowing of where it is you want to go for you. Because, yep, you've got heaps of energy of, you know, I've got every reason to be hesitant or resistant or to really take my time with this. Yes, do that. Take the time, ask the questions. But still keep choosing to have an everyday. Can spice up your life. We're having a party. Like, have fun while you're doing it, you know, enjoying things, savoring things. All right. Yeah. Like I said. And then you've got Ant Spirit, which is, it's in challenge, you know, it's in reverse. And it says time to collaborate. So to collaborate, it's usually working with others. But, you know, there's only two in there. So it's time to really connect or make connections that are worth your while. Let's just put it like that. Let's make connections that are worth your while, Lucy, with Ant Spirit. And we have to understand with the Ant Spirit, they're very industrious, they're very collective, they're very expansive. Like, I remember watching this Ant... Sorry, just bringing it up, but this is just something that happens. This documentary, it's just a little bit on TikTok, and they filled up an ant nest with some kind of concrete, I think, and they pumped it in for hours, and when they actually excavated the site, it was huge, and these are only tiny little things. So it's sort of like this. If you connect with the right person, you might be able to build something so great, so large and expansive in your life that you could create the life that you actually want. But you are right to be hesitant. You are right to actually take time to collaborate about or calibrate how you feel about something before you make those moves, because I'd be a fool to repeating cycles like that. No way, no thank you, no can do, because you're evolving. But it's also a good time to remember this. Still live your life fully. Still choose to go out and create an energy that uplifts you and makes you feel valuable. So that could be collaborating with people and not really taking that deep dive into creating that bridge. But like I said, for the right person, you'll go anywhere. And that's what I like about your energy. So thank you, Lucy. Hopefully this made sense to you. Helps you now and in the future. And thank you very much. Whew. Okay, Felicia. Yeah, did you? Right. And it's just so huge, and but I mean, it was so many ants. It wasn't just like 1 or 2 ants. It was a lot of ants. But when they excavated it, it was so huge, and I was like, that's from ants. Could humans do that in the short amount of times that they do? But ants are constantly evolving. That's why it's sort of like, that's what I mean, you are evolving. Thank you, Lucy. I appreciate that. It was huge. Yeah, it was big. Even me, I was like, whoa. It was quite interesting. I actually love learning about ants. They're quite an interesting species. All right. Okay. Felicia or Felisa? Hi guys. Oh. Use your mind wisely. Okay. Felicia. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Okay. So Felicia, if you'd like to take 3 deep breaths, breathing slowly and deeply, opening up the heart chakra and the crown chakra. And ground down into the energy and create a safe space. Oh, sorry. Relaxing the body. It's weird. Sorry, it's weird because I'm seeing it's like I'm trying to see it, but it's really difficult. And I'm trying to color, it's weird. I'm trying to find your location. So I do this like energy GPS, right? So it's hard to lock you in. And it could be because it's the first time. So sometimes the first times you usually have to dig a little. Yeah, there it is. Okay, thank you. So there's like a flower that's trying to grow. I often talk about the flower or the time of the blossoming. When we allow ourselves to be seen, heard, valued, loved, cared for, and we become more empowered in our internal understanding and knowing and trusting of who we are as a person. But it takes many, many processes for the flower to emerge and blossom. We have to understand that first we start as the seed. And the seed sitting there in the darkness, having to choose to change. Like it's an alchemical change. Not every seed takes root, Not every seed grows. Not every seed will expand or bring forward healthy fruit or flowers. And it's sort of like understanding that you've gone through a lot of life changes, life lessons, and had to make very strong decisions for you as a person to get to where you are. And what's happening to you right now is that you're finding it hard to envision what you will look like in this energy. I can show you what you look like. It was like this. You're a sunflower. You know what sunflowers do? A, they represent the sun. They worship the sun, which is the light, the knowing, right? But they purify and detox. So you're an empath. Sunflower energy. Your light lights others and amplifies and heals people. So if you imagine how tall a sunflower can grow when it's nourished properly, when it has the right environment, the right nutrients to actually grow up big and strong, and even after it flowers, it creates more nourishment for others from what it creates, like the seeds, sunflower seeds. I want to say you're definitely a unique signature for me as a person. You have a definite uniqueness to you as a person and as an energy. So you may not know it, but I would say you're definitely very strong in healing skills, whether it's through just your presence, because some people transmute, right? Some people touch and heal. Some people speak and heal. For me, I'm the throat. I use my voice and presence to heal people. But some may actually touch. But for me, sunflowers, they just go into the center of a room and their light shares to everyone else. It emits this beautiful healing energy. So for you, it's presence. People will feel that around you too. So 9 times out of 10, you're probably attracting the crazy ones. Or the people that are slightly broken. I say slightly in a very honourable way. For me, broken characters or broken people have the best stories to tell. And I never judge. You're a sunflower. This is a song. You're a sunflower. Okay. So let's pull some cards. Me too. Yeah, okay. It's in challenge, but I'll take the top one. I will acknowledge against the grain. And what do you feel? These 2 cards. So you get 3 flipped out, but I take the top one. So not too sure how you feel about things. Apple and oranges. Not going to argue about different things. Against the grain. Choosing to look at things in a different way. Like I said, uniqueness. And here we have conscious connections in reverse though. Yeah. Can't really show you everything, but conscious connections, number 35, breaks down to an 8. 8 is about right time, right place, right person. Okay. The reason why it's in challenge is because you actually haven't been around the right people that allow this light to be valued. Conscious connections is about choosing to connect with people that add value to you in a way that amplifies and nourishes you. Like I said about the sunflower, just imagine how high the sunflower grows in the right environment, right? And for you, with that conscious connection in reverse, you haven't found either your people, your place, or the right connections that allow you to grow, but you're very bonded to certain things. So I would say you have a very strong mindset about what it is that you want and often look to the past for things. So you connect to your ancestors or you look a lot to the past for wisdom and guidance, which is good, but sometimes we have to understand that a lot of the information that we need is right in front of us in the here and now, and to focus on that energy. So we have to learn to let go to the things that we're connected to from the past. We can honor it, we can bring love and respect to it, but we are no longer attached to that space as we start to evolve and move forward. So if you're still pulling back a bit or resistant to let go of the past, it can often hinder you from moving forward into spaces that allow you to expand and grow in a better way. All right, so let's pull some other cards. Oh, okay. Got 2 cards step forward, they just fell out, so we'll just take them. And I'll pull an animal spirit. 2 again. Definitely may see things in pairs or duality or polarity. All right, only because there's 2 in here. what came out as 3, but 2 in that card, 2 there, 2 there. So you may have good side, bad side, light side, dark side, upside, downside. You know, you're human, and we're made of light and dark. So when I talk about my healing journey, I always acknowledge the darkness inside me that I have, and I've known the darkness very well. But I also acknowledge that everything that I do now actually allows me to access light in a deeper and more meaningful way. So I never deny my dark side or the darkness that I've been around. It's something that I take accountability for and also own, because it's mine, and I'm not going to throw it away or discard it or act like it's not a part of me. Because being whole and needing to be whole, you have to acknowledge these sides, which is like our shadow, you know. So you got doubt and discipline and challenge. So with doubt, I actually like that doubts and challenge. I'm not even worried. Oh, so sorry. What did I miss? Oh, okay. Felicia, I'm going to say this to you. You've always had this gift. It's just more stronger in grief, okay? Because that energy, and I know this, because guess what? My grandfather did the same thing to me, or at least it felt like he gave me the mantle, you know? He's like, here, you have this gift in spirit. But it's sort of like, in the end, when I realized I'd always had this, and that his acknowledgement was just for me to actually embrace it and open up to it. So I actually get that, and I'm so sorry. But here we have doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. That's hard. That's hard if you're on a spiritual journey, because often we may feel like our cup is already full. We already have all the answers. And then we have discipline. It says, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. So both in challenge, I'm actually all right that you're challenging that doubt. I feel like you have a very strong belief about who you are. Oh, that's the conscious connections, isn't it? Yeah, that's why the past. Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah, grief. Grief amplifies a need to change, or it's like a spiritual journey too. So in my grief for my grandfather, I felt his presence. Actually, his presence was with me, and that initiated me into a spiritual healing journey, and that also allowed me to embrace my gifts but I already had these, and like I said, you probably did too, but it just brought it to your awareness even more so. But discipline, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. Maybe not so much. Maybe it's time to center yourself. And like I said, this is what I'm talking to you about the past, is that definitely, I know it's hard with the grief and the loss. I understand that part. But for you, you can still honor that by moving forward and letting go. Because the thing I had to learn in my spiritual journey, and everyone knows the story if you've been with me long enough, is that there was a point where my grandfather was ready to leave me energetically, spiritually. And I had to let him go. And I was so mad at him, actually. Mad at him. I was like, why did you have to bring me all the way back here to his hometown where he grew up in his ancestral lands to tell me to let you go? Because he was ready to go. He was ready to go. And he wanted me to embrace who I was. So it was a beautiful time, but a hard time. And my grandfather had been gone for years by then. Years. I still grieved him. I still held him close to me like a safety blanket. And that it was just time for me to learn that I could stand on my own 2 feet without his protection. And then that let his spirit rest. When we hold them too long, they don't get to rest the way that they need to, so they can move forward in their evolution. That next level of living as a soul. Just food for thought. It may not resonate at all, but hopefully it does. But their discipline probably need to be with people that can help you, like I said, definitely with this conscious connections, in an environment that will help you harness your abilities and not so much squander them. Now, what I say about that is there's a lot of pitfalls to healing or being a healer. And if you don't know the ways out of certain situations or techniques and strategies that benefit you to rise up out of darkness, because the downside to healing is it's the darkness. You could get really, really stuck in some dark places and not know how to get out. So connect with people that are actually, you know, know their thing. Whatever field of energy it is that you work with, realm that you work in, find people that can help you and teach you the right ways. You know, look for a mentor or a teacher. And then you have here Hummingbird Spirit, and it's in challenge, which is be here now. So you got a lot of challenges in your energy, a lot of resistance, and Scarab Beetle Spirit, magic works through you, and challenge. So what do I say about it? It's a lot. So it's not easy to always stay high vibrational if you don't know how to clear, cleanse, and let go of things. Being here now means letting go of the past, letting go of the future, and being in this moment and just existing, learning to be still, learning to welcome in loving and supportive thought forms into the heart space, and opening up that heart and mind to receive. Because my main value is that, my main saying is that an open heart and open mind receives the blessings from the universe, which is insight, as we know, intuition, foresight, knowing, energy, and also love. And love is really big when it comes to healing, because that is your transmuting energy and power. Okay, and Scarab Beetle magic works through you. Your energy is not, your energy and skill sets aren't over there. They are a part of you, have been a part of you. And just like anything, you have to work it like a muscle. Practice makes perfect. They're talking about a beginner's mind. So it's learning to empty the cup. You know, empty the cup that you feel that is full of knowledge, and actually allow that to be filled with knowledge, because it's sort of like realigning, like I said, more techniques, strategies, and belief systems that are more beneficial for you as a sunflower, now allowing you to grow more stronger and better and healthier, to get out there in the world and transmute energies easier and more efficiently. So magic works through you. It's not around you or above you or below you. It is within you and through you. So just remember these things, but hopefully that helps you. So conscious connections, create connections and environments that are more healthier for you, that allow you to grow. Challenge the doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. Challenge the discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. Hummingbird energy, be here now. And Scarab Beetle Spirit, magic works through you. Alright, send it to you with lots of love, Felicia. Hopefully that made sense to you and resonated. And thank you very much. Okay, just got to give these a shuffle. I have Denise Love. Is Denise Love here? Me too. I hope you got the guidance there. Very welcome. Denise Love. Denise Love, are you still here? Denise Love. I'm going to read Tanya T, 70 as well. I'm going to add you there. Denise Love. I don't think Denise is here. Is she gone? Oh, there you are. Okay, awesome. And then Tanya T, 70. Sorry, Tanya, I see your name. I feel very drawn to it. So sorry to everybody that's been here this whole time. Okay, Denise, if you'd like to... I'm just going to drink water actually real quick. Oh. Feel the water going down. So I use water, and I drink water a lot when I do my readings, because when you actually do a lot of readings, you get quite dehydrated, especially if you have a high vibration. And water is my conduit of choice, my element that I use to connect with my intuition. Water represents healing, cleansing, intuition, and flow. All right. Whew. Okay, here we go, Denise. So if you'd like to take 3 deep breaths, breathing slowly and deeply, opening up the heart chakra. Opening up the crown chakra. Yeah. A lot of in there. Going down into the energy, creating that safe space, connecting to your higher self, and bringing forward a message for your highest good. Send this to you with lots of love and good intention. Yeah, okay, so I got set adrift of memory bliss. So this is an energy of being stuck in many mind loops. So I felt that straight away when I tapped into your crown. It's a little bit heavy, a little bit, a lot going on there. For me, I like to tap into crowns. When I tap into my crown, your crown, I feel that as an energy sensitive, the wobble. So I know it feels for a moment good to look into the waters of your memory. So for some odd reason, it's sort of like I see you on this rowboat and your hands are in the water. You know, you're just scanning the water for memory. And there's parts of you that go into these spaces or these mind processes and thoughts with the right intention. Like, I'm only going in to tap into the good stuff. But the downside to that is that some of your good memories also contain negative elements. And so when you go in with the right intentions to view something or feel something, you then tap into also the stuff that you have attached to that. And that's a lot. I feel like I want to say you've been stuck in some very heavy mind loops or patterns of pain and suffering. But your intention is actually to bring love forward or to remember someone, but it always ends in hurting you. I don't know why I want to say that. It always ends in feeling pain or sadness. Yeah, shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I feel like it's sort of like I could have done better, I could have been better, I could have been more perfect or more, you know, it's sort of like I tried my hardest and it wasn't enough, I'm not enough. And that is literally the wrong way to look at things. Because it's like when you give 100% of yourself, when you give wholeheartedly to someone and that is not reciprocated, cut them off, but 9 times out of 10 we don't, because we're human and we love, right? Or B, it's the person's issue, not yours. And it's sort of like give them back the responsibility of that energy and that emotion. Give them that, make them accountable for that. You know what? I gave my hardest to you, my best, my brightest. I gave that to you or gave it to a situation or a place. And it wasn't received properly. If your intentions were right and not received, we have to learn then and discern that that is the time to pull away and let go. Because our energy is precious and so is our love. So that's what I mean. If you're going through mind loops, give that responsibility to the other person and learn to let it go. So that you don't have to suffer when you bring forward something good. You're human, that's for sure. And we often do that as humans, is that we can sit there for hours. We don't even know. We don't even know. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you so much. Oh! Bring it back. See you on Tuesday. Sorry, Denise. Okay, sorry. But mad at me for focusing elsewhere, I think. Let's bring it back. Right. There it is. Thank you. You've got going beyond normal. That's what I mean, the mind, your mind. Do you know how beautiful it could be if you used it right? Do you know what it could create, what it could manifest? Do you know what it could feel like if you used it right? Indecision. And let's just pull all your cards so we're not chewing up the time. Here we go. His trust in divine details, they're flipped out pretty predominantly, so oh boy, does Spirit have plans for you. Don't be afraid though, it is a time of change, going beyond normal. I'm going to read that one out of the book. Why not? I actually like reading them. I like the words they use. I like reading these books, and I think ever since I started reading oracle cards and even tarot cards are more like the nitty gritty, but oracle cards, some of these messages are beautiful and you're just absorbing that information, you know. So it's good to it's actually helped my mindset reading a lot of these messages. And so here we go. It goes, on the path of life, there are deciding moments where we can choose to go with the mainstream, or we can dare to take a bolder, more authentic and trusting way, even if it seems riskier or less safe. To rely solely on logic and science without incorporating the mysterious and magical is a recipe for an existence that is far too dry. The sacred rebel within our hearts will always choose a juicier approach to life. You are currently approaching such a choice point. Finding that hard. You could say that the choice is about balance. It is less about choosing to honour either art or science, gardening or architecture, and more about integrating science, gardening or architecture, and more about integrating all approaches so that you enhance rather than hinder your life journey. So, you are being asked to stay open to the intuitive approach in your life, your work, your creativity, as well as in your spiritual journey. The intuitive approach can be likened to the method of a gardener or an artist. There is a sense of might work where a loose or even a detailed plan, but how the plan is carried out will depend on and respond to the flow of its surroundings. There is no need to control the situation, but rather a desire to nurture an idea to fruition. Talks about having pressure around you from the world, from your own conditioned nature, and according to the rules, to a deadline, to an accepted mainstream view, that you need a well thought out plan for success in a commercial venture. This feels more scientific or more about, okay, here we go. Okay, you are moving outside of the plan. You are moving on the border of you are moving to the border of what is socially accepted. This is good. This is fringe dwelling. Freedom. Others might not see this about you straight away as you seem pretty normal, but that secret eccentric streak is just waiting to show itself. And maybe you are out and proud. Maybe you're an out and proud fringe dweller, completely comfortable with this way of being. Either way, this oracle brings you the message that you now have a chance to live from the heart more deeply and expressively than ever before. It wants you to realize that this is a legitimate, empowered, and creative way to live that honors all of who you are. Yeah, you are not giving up, forcing, or squashing yourself down into a very limited set of so-called desirable qualities. You are expanding. Yeah. Okay. So, if we amalgamate that with what I was talking about before, like I said, just imagine if you used your mind wisely. Just imagine if you used it in a way that allowed you to create the life that you wanted, freedom. And the thing about freedom is individual for each of us, but freedom is actually something that I associate to love and unconditional love, because real freedom is real love, because whatever you do still equates to the same, like nothing takes away from it. And it feels like the more you learn to bring a loving and supportive thought form in that helps you get through whatever it is that you're processing right now. So you may have conflicts within something that you know is logical and something that you know is illogical. And for me, you can hold two ideals that conflict with each other and still hold them in truth and honor. So it's learning to amalgamate all sides of you, just not one side, and create opportunities that allow you to be seen, heard, noticed, cared for, and loved. So going beyond normal asks you to expand into spaces that you may feel a little bit uncomfortable with, but in the end may find yourself and feel valued in there. And here you have indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life as literally asking you to get more intuitive with your approach to life. So it feels like indecision, and I get it. I totally get it when it comes to our intuition. Like, I don't know if this is true or not, but what happens if you actually trusted it? Like, if you spend a week, just experiment for 2 days, right, of trusting these little intuitive hits that come in the first thought, trusting that, right, and deciding to go forward with it. So your intuition goes, hey, Denise, go buy you a donut. And you're like, I'm on a diet, I don't want a donut. This is just an example. And you go to the donut and you meet an old lady, and she has a flat tire. So you go to help her. And while you're helping her, her grandson shows up. It's like, and it's just these divine tours, encounters that are going to really lift you up. And it's sort of like creating opportunities by breaking the mold in which your energy is so used to moving and shaping. And then it says, trust in divine detours. Literally, if you were to just believe in your intuition, because it feels like you actually have quite an intuitive space, but because you've been using your mind for processing things that are just draining your energy, you don't have the energy to actually listen to your intuition. And that's the thing, when you settle that down, when you bring more loving and supportive thought forms in, you create space for your intuition to then start working at a higher rate, where you can hear it, trust it, feel it. And indecision, if you ever feel like there's something you can't decide, step into yourself, take a deep breath, bring everything back down to wholeness, open up the heart, open up the mind, just simply 3 deep breaths with that intention of opening up these spaces, and let the decision come to you. Everybody needs to make decisions here and now, but what happens if you actually chose to wait for the right decision to come forward and let it create solutions or opportunities in your life? So I think it's just really for you. It's learning to trust that you have the right mind to break out of the molds that you were created to become, and to move into something that's more free for you. Trusting your intuition, even experimenting with that, just asking for a sign, that I would specifically understand what it means to me. Use your words properly when it comes to asking Spirit for a sign, because it's like, show me a sign, and then you stand there and everything's a sign, everything's a synchronicity, so nothing will stand out. But if you ask for a sign specifically for you, that you would know what it means, then wait for it, and you'll be surprised how fast it comes forward. But the universe has your back. It's just taking you on some twisty turny roads to create character. That's what I say. Like, sometimes you got to go on these divine detours so you have stories to tell, like stories that overtake the old stories, that create new stories and new patterns, new connections, new people, new places, new things, and then bring you back to wholeness, bring you back to alignment with your main path and moving forward. Turtle power, right? This is something that I brought forward earlier, and that is I honor my turtle energy. I step forward slowly and surely, and never in too much of a rush to be something I'm not, and never trying to be something I am. I just exist. And that was that energy of, you know, why rush? Why rush so fast to get to the end? Because there's no going past the end. That is it, full stop. So you might as well just enjoy what's going on right in front of you. And for me, it feels like you just need to add some character to some new stories, and, you know, things like that. So thank you, Denise. Hopefully that made sense to you. I send that to you with lots of love and good intentions, and thank you very much. Okay. Denise. Tanya T. I think, Lisa, you may need to go to the doctor for that. Tanya T. Thank you, Tess. I appreciate that. Tanya, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I see you. Just going to scale this water up. All right, Tanya, if you'd like to take 3 deep breaths, breathing in deeply, slowly, opening up the heart chakra, and the crown chakra. Yeah, grounding down into that energy and creating that safe space, connecting with your higher self and asking for spiritual guidance for your highest good. And I send this to you with lots of love and good intentions. Yeah, you are worthy. You are worthy, Tanya. Don't let anyone ever tell you that you're not. Don't let them devalue you and think that their eye is more valuable than yours. Someone, you know, with beauty is in the eye of the beholder. No one's value is more than yours. Everyone is the same. It's the ego that likes to be superior. It's the ego that likes to be on top. It's the ego that likes to be better than others. So it's learning to quieten any thoughts, feelings that are negative to you, that devalue you, that make you feel less than. Because it's like right here, my head, it's like this. And for me, it just instantly says, you know, you are worthy. You are enough. You are beautiful. You are special. You are unique. You are needed. You are loved. You are safe. You are protected. You are blessed. I felt a little bit angry about that. Because you're sensitive and you've got a kind heart. And the thing is, when people have kind hearts and they're sensitive and they have people telling them that they're nothing or less than, or at least making them feel that way, that they start to believe it. And kind people will start blocking their heart chakras from the world. And when kind people start blocking their heart chakras from the world, everybody feels it. You know? And there's forces out there, people out there, situations out there that are going to make you feel like that on purpose. That is their intention. That is what they want to create. Less light in the world. And you can't forget your light, Tanya. That's why you have to understand that you're enough. Someone loves you, honey. Someone loves you no matter what. Just be my God, baby. Someone loves you, honey, more than anything in the world. Sorry, my throat. Boom, stepson. Whew, I feel really emotional about that. I needed that myself. Just a reminder. Just to remind you that you're enough. So let's pull some cards. I'm so sorry. I got mad because I was like, why? Because your energy, your signature is just so kind. Sorry, I felt emotional there. I'm going to sing that song. Let's pull some cards. Visions of life beyond death. Change. One more. Skunk spirit, know your worth. You know what? The reason why I always struggled with why they put the skunk spirit as know your worth in this particular deck. It is in challenge, so you know that is what I mean. That is the hardest part for you to actually embrace. Maybe we'll see. And I often wondered why they put the skunk spirit as know your worth, because it's sort of like, isn't there more truly valuable animals or beautiful animals? And you know what my spiritual team said? There's nothing wrong with a skunk. You know, they're like, well, there's nothing wrong with it. A skunk does what a skunk does. It is natural. It protects itself. You know, we've all got to protect ourselves. Why would you think the skunk is not worthy enough? I'm like, okay. You're right. The skunk spirit is worthy enough. And that's why it is know your worth with the skunk spirit. So it's interesting it comes that way. You know, it's just a defense mechanism to keep out predators and people, you know, like animals that are trying to create negativity for the skunk. And it's the same as you. Sorry, it just pops out this way. We're going backwards in the reading. 54 breaks down to a 9. This is something you must recognize in yourself. This is something that you must embrace in yourself. Know your worth. Know you're worthy. Know you're enough. Despite how everything may seem, there's this beautiful energy that you have, and the world needs more of it. So if you don't think you're here for a reason, just existing is a reason, just being in the earth, knowing your worth, sharing your light means something. Always. Okay? Change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Okay? Nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So yeah, we might all have to go through stages of change, and change can create a lot of conflict or chaos in our lives. I always associate those two together. But when we embrace the change, when we choose to change the way we see ourselves, feel about ourselves, think about ourselves, talk to ourselves, the quality of your thoughts matter. And like I said, a lot of us have to welcome in more loving and supportive thought forms, because this is a time when our light is needed most. Oh, bless you too, brother. Thank you. This is a time when our light is needed most, and who cares about how it's presented? That light must shine to keep us all in a balance. It's balance. It's balance. So things happen to bring people into balance. So you may be going through some wobbles. It makes sense. But a lot of that has to come in to you understanding where you stand in the world and why you're here. So here we have visions of life beyond death. Very important card. Number 44, the number of the builder for me. So this is where you understand. This particular card is about true insight. But the thing about this is, true insight removes all the illusions of the world and sees the soul within. And that's really, really important for you to see who you really are inside, and why that's important for you to be out there in the world. And you may be thinking to yourself, oh my God, what is this chick talking about? But you have a healing quality too, to your energy. And you know what? It's interesting because sometimes, when people have healing abilities, they usually go through the most shittiest things and events from the moment they're born, almost. Like there's a few years of happiness and peace, and then there's a point where it just goes wham. Life goes wham. And it starts knocking you down, because a beautiful thing I heard today is that often we come into this life and we forget everything. And the question was, well, why do we forget everything? And the whole purpose for us in this life is to learn to remember who we really are. And that needs space and time to evolve, because at first we get told who we are as children. And then we go through a space of breaking down who we are when we go through a space of a time of evolution. We start breaking down what we've been taught what we are. In our teenage years, we rebel against the system, or some of us try to please our parents, but it never works. And then some of us rebel because we're not getting the time and attention that we need. And then we get into the older life, we have a midlife crisis, or an event happens, and we have to once again reevaluate who we are. And that is a constant growing and evolving wheel, because to really understand who we are, we had to forget who we were. So a lot of us, we don't know our purpose, because we have to learn and remember what it is, or remember what it is. Yeah, this one. Yeah. It's like tapping into the wisdom of your soul. You've got so much energy, wisdom, and knowledge in the soul that you could actually tap into it and find out what you need to know. And that's what I mean. This card actually represents true insight. But true insight is about removing the illusions of life around us and within us. And that can cause a lot of change. But what changes is that we might actually learn and embrace and know our worth and why we're here. So Tanya, I send that to you with lots of love and good intentions, and I hope that helps you right now and it makes sense. But thank you very much. Sorry, I feel like sometimes I jump out at people and Tanya, the universe, but I'm so sorry. I can't control what comes out of me. It just comes out in the way it does. And I felt drawn to your energy, so I hope that helped you. Thank you, Tanya. What's up time? Oh, guys, I'm going to call it a night tonight. I have to go to bed. It's 11 o'clock. I've gone over my time limit. So thank you, Tanya. You were my lucky last, and I'm sorry to everybody else that's jumped on. I do come on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and I do this from about 7 o'clock New Zealand time till usually 10:30. So if you didn't get me tonight, maybe you'll catch me another night. Or, hey, if you see one of my videos, you want to ask me a question or ask for a quick little mini reading, feel free to comment in the comments on my videos, and I always try to respond, or at least like and go through the comments. So hopefully that's there for those that have followed me and see me anyway. So thank you, guys. Much love to my moderators. Thank you to all the likes, comments, shares, and follows. I appreciate yous a lot. And have a great night, everybody, or day, wherever you are. Lots of love and good intentions to you. Love yous all, and see yous again. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Good night. Bye, guys. Oh, here we go. We're over here. Oh, where are we going? Okay, here we go. Bye.